clicked it. It's starting up. Drum roll. Oh. I think we might be live. I think this thing's on. It says connected, yeah.
Yep, you're live.
Yeah. Oh my goodness. Sean Birmingham, what's up? Kylie Ray, Zach, Levi, yo. Alright guys. All our OGs are in the stream chat right now. Alright guys. This is the first Facebook Live. I'm gonna let you guys file in. We got an exciting.
You see me?
Yeah, I see you. I'm assuming I can like give you mod. Oh, oops. Bear with us. We have a lot of older gentlemen and women learning technology. I'll include myself in that bunch. I've had Facebook for like 15 years. I've never gone live on here. So thank you guys for being a part of McJuggernaut's history right now. It's a little chaotic. Oh my gosh. You guys, this is a lot of people. We're over 1,000 people right now. This is pretty wild. Let all you guys file in. We're fashionably late right now. We apologize. As expected, things don't go as planned. I'm gonna try and make some moderators in the chat right now. So if you're a top fan on Facebook, I'm looking to give some people the moderator privileges. I'm trying to keep up with you guys. If I don't respond, just keep trying, and yeah, we'll see what we can make happen. All right, guys. So let me kick off the stream here. Hey there, Juggies. It's your old pal McJuggernaut here. Welcome to the very first Don't Mind That Dog Facebook live stream. We're gonna be doing a super awesome Sega Series cast reunion show tonight. Probably gonna run for like 90 minutes, and we have all your favorite characters from the Sega Series in one Zoom call. It was not easy because a lot of people don't know how to use this stuff. I mean, imagine Sega Dad trying to use a smartphone. It's not easy to set up, and it goes against his very nature. So, but we wanted to do this because you guys have been incredible. All you guys have been watching the Psycho series, some for the very first time, and I know we just had a crazy explosive finale that just went down this past weekend. Psycho Kid shot his dad. He fled to Switzerland. Wild. And then we just released the documentary yesterday, which a lot of you guys have been enjoying, loving, and getting to see kind of how we did what we've done over the years. So I'm just going to kind of kick it right off. We have the whole cast right now on a Zoom call. I'm going to flip over to these guys. I'm going to open their mics up for a moment. And then what we're going to do is basically going to open up to a big Q&A. So feel free to let us know your thoughts, comments, feelings, any questions you may have. It's going to be fun, and I hope you'll stick around with us. But seriously, thank you guys for all the support with all this stuff. All right, here we go. Without further ado, the cast of the Psycho series. Let me unmute all these peeps. Oh, allow participants to unmute themselves. Yes. Yes. Okay. All right. Now I literally have to learn how to unmute. Guys, so you can click the unmute option, and you guys can now talk. There we go. What's up, Corn? Uncle Chris. What's up? Got Aunt Melissa down there. We got Nancy from the farm, Anita, Aunt Jackie. We got my mom, Dad, and Uncle Larry there together in the corner. We got all these great peeps here. And there's even Tom. We're waiting on my brother. Leave it to Jeffrey to kind of be MIA for something like this. I'm sure he'll pop in later. But say hello, everyone. All right, so we got a lot. We're up to 2,000 viewers right now, who just kind of experienced the Sega series for the first time. To you guys who we've all been a part of the show, what do you guys? Does anyone have anything to say to these people that are just now experiencing kind of that whole ride? You guys, everyone just talk. You guys can just talk whenever you want. Oh my gosh. Exactly. Ma, your guys' mic just cut out. We can't hear them. Oh, gotcha. Okay. You can't hear the...
We can't hear him at all.
Oh, gotcha.
Only you.
Alright, apparently you guys can't hear them. 1 second. Alright, 1 second. Alright, the Facebook's freaking out because you guys can't hear them. Alright, 1 second. No. Let me add a quick source real quick. Audio output. Check. I know! It's like we get it. Alright. Alright, that should work. Yo, alright, you guys should be able to hear everyone now. Guys, start talking in the Zoom call.
Hold on, there's like a 20-second delay.
If you guys just heard that word jumble, that means it worked. Okay, somebody said I can hear clearly. Can you hear all the peoples? No? Somebody said barely? Still off? Still can't? Alright. Let me try one more. I appreciate you guys bearing with us. Once we get this figured out, we'll be zooming. Properties. Here we go. I think this will do it. I'm quite confident this will be the one. Alright, you guys start talking.
Hello.
Right. Hopefully this is working.
Yeah.
Hello.
Oh yeah, you hear him now. I bet
Oh,
you
yeah.
do. I don't
You
even
hear
need
us?
to
Yeah.
check.
Putting the hands
I'm
up
pretty
like
confident. Final answer. I'm locking that down.
Jackie, get off your phone.
I'm checking the Facebook.
If you guys can't hear, then I'm just an epic failure.
they're all like,
It worked.
why are
It
you
worked.
celebrating?
All right, yo, everybody, let them open the.
Hi,
the floodgates.
Brittany.
You guys can feel free to speak at any point. Cut me off. Chat, welcome. We are now ready and raring to go. But if you guys didn't realize, my mom, dad, and Uncle Larry are all together on one screen.
Hi,
We're
Brandy.
waiting on Jeffrey. If you guys, everyone in the Zoom call, if you guys want to be watching the chat as they go along, because this is pretty cool to see everyone engaging.
Pumpkin for you.
But all right, guys. So we're gonna open up to a Q&A.
Love you too, honey.
There's a lot going on. A lot just happened, and I'm sure you guys got a lot of questions. How's Psycho Dad doing?
You pay
That's
attention. What? Get off your phone. Oh,
They want to know how you're doing.
I'm doing good, thank you.
Love you too, Brandy.
I'm
Look at my
57.
new
I'm near
baby.
heart attack age. I'm doing good, thanks.
Great times.
Did he just say heart attack age? Oh my god. So I'm going to switch actually for you guys watching at home right now. I'm going to switch to speaker view. So it's going to be kind of like a pass the mic sort of thing. So whoever's talking will kind of get the floor. So we're going to start doing more targeted questions.
Okay.
I'm probably going to slow down the chat, guys. So make sure
Hi,
whatever
Crystal.
you share is a little bit more, kind of less spammy because there's so many people in here. Rose asked, Anita, do you guys have a web page that they can check out for the farm?
McCannsfarm.com.
There you go. And you guys are on Facebook too, right?
Yeah. Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter.
Yeah, and these guys, I mean, everything you saw on Psycho Series, that is the farm. Like, they have animals, they have produce, they even have their own local honey. That's a thing. If you want honey for your throat.
But we do not have Uncle Chris. Don't call the farm and ask for
I was
Uncle
going to say that.
So wait, that's an interesting thought right there. So Uncle Chris, you're not at the farm every day?
No, I'm not. The day I met Anita and Nancy was the first day we started shooting there, basically.
Wow.
And I believe they knew my wife prior to that some years ago. They had crossed paths, but we didn't know. I'd never met them before.
A lot of people showing some love to Corn. How are you doing, dude?
Oh, pretty good. I moved to Florida.
Oh,
What?
nice.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
you fled as well.
Fled, yeah, definitely. And then, I just started a job, and then the quarantine happened, so that's great. So,
Where are you working?
at Disney World. I met a
Disney
few
shut
fans.
down.
Met a few fans. They like come through the line, then all of a sudden they do the classic like. I'm like, ah.
People want to know where in Florida. Is that too much? Because you might have
It's just like
girls, dude.
it's just right next to Disney World.
Okay, he literally lives in the castle.
Yeah. It's a special cast member castle.
Okay, so here's a pretty big question. People are just asking. So this was a show, and yes, it pretty much was like as close as a reality TV web series as you can get, with a bit more of a narrative behind it. But understand that this is all my actual family, friends, people that live in our area. This was not like a Hollywood cast, although I feel like we performed.
I know, right?
Up to that level.
Some of the scenes were like really good. I mean,
yeah, like I think what really helped us, and I think what brought the reality in for you guys is we would shoot everything in one take, so everyone would get really into it, get really emotional, to where it wasn't like scripted lines. So like a lot of the arguments, a lot of the fights you would see, probably felt pretty real because we were actually getting into it. Is there any chance of any more series? So for you guys on Facebook, there's gonna be a lot more to come. So I saw you guys have been upset that the Sega series is over. We were upset when it finished, but we have so many more series that we've done in that time. Because I will say this, like, the Sega series is actually like 4 years old now. However, it feels like just yesterday. I think there's a lot of confusion. Like, yo, why aren't you in lockdown right now? Like, where's the masks at? You guys are just fighting. A lot of this content is from a while ago, but if you guys want to keep up to date with what's going on, you can check out my YouTube channel, our platform Storyfire. But for Facebook viewers, you don't even have to, because I'm going to catch all you guys up on everything that's happened over the last few years, and we're going to upload that right to Facebook for you guys. So you don't have to do anything. It's all coming to you. A lot of love for the family. A lot of love for Uncle Larry. Uncle Larry, how are you doing?
I'm doing pretty good.
Are you still drinking Corona?
I was gonna say, you see the
He's
Corona
doing well.
So. Doing great.
Are you still obsessed with Corona?
Who, me?
Like the alcoholic beverage?
No, Corona Light. Larry doesn't have pants on right now. He has Corona underwear. That's just disturbing.
What?
You promised you wouldn't tell anybody that.
Anything on what? I knew it shouldn't be told.
Oh, interesting. Dang, I know you guys couldn't see me right now. Let me change back to gallery. I want you guys to see my face. There we go. Okay. Larry is hot. Okay.
Whoa.
How do you feel about that, Uncle Larry?
He's going through male menopause, that's why.
Hot flashes.
So what's really interesting is, with all you guys watching on Facebook, this is a completely different demographic than we were exposed to when the Sega series was going on. I mean, the amount of like fan encounters that we've had over the last few years, or even just who's on YouTube primarily, has been children. And I'm sure everybody has had different scenarios, like in the cast now, of a fan meetup. But for you guys watching, I mean, it's great that a lot of the older demographic got to see the Sega series for the first time. I'm curious, in the chat right now, who here sided with my dad, or Uncle Chris towards the beginning of his character, or who was kind of more like supporting me and Corn and Uncle Larry, and kind of that like following your dream. Like, I'm curious to see the divide of like who sided with who. And while you guys are saying that, somebody asked, is Uncle Larry married?
Oh my God.
He just not. He not.
I don't think anybody was talking to you, Melissa.
Was there ever any romantic involvement with you two, with Uncle Larry and Aunt Melissa? Was that?
Hell to the no.
So there was no truth to that whatsoever.
No. Never.
Larry's blushing. Yeah.
All right, a lot of people siding with my characters, saying, following your dreams. Because I know what's interesting is the Sega series first blew up on Facebook. That's how really all of this began. Was one of my videos of the shredding of the video games went viral on Facebook as of 5 years ago now, and I remember pretty much everybody was in favor of my dad. They were like, "Destroy your son's games. They're a waste of time."
As they should be.
Got to get a job. And maybe a lot has changed in those last 5-6 years to where maybe a lot of you guys are now more open to the idea of somebody having a job on the internet or on social media or even in gaming. This chat is crazy right now. I'm trying to keep up with you guys. We got almost 2,400 viewers in here.
Wow.
Jeffrey should be answering shortly. He's actually getting out of a meeting. That's right. Jeffrey is actually like a political servant. That guy. Like the guy who's like breaking shit and like yelling, like he's in politics. Like it's crazy.
I am the servant.
Where is Juliet? So Juliet
He
is not.
just said the guy to break it.
I hate to break some hearts, but we are no longer together. We broke up years later. It was not anything related to the Psycho series. But you guys are welcome to follow Juliet. She's still making music. It's Juliet Riley. You can totally find her on Spotify, Apple Music, wherever. April, good question. This is live. This is all of us right now in 2020. It is May 19th. Some of us may look the same. I think most of us look pretty similar.
I got a few more wrinkles.
Me too.
I can't tell though. I think everyone looks pretty much the same. But yeah, guys, feel free to ask any questions. I'm gonna see if I can try and slow down the chat so we can just kind of get to the meat. How stressful was this series for everybody involved? Let's start top right corner with kind of the immediate fam there, and then we'll kind of work our way through all about the stress of the series. Because I'll just speak personally real quick, is that it's hard to understand, but we really tried hard to make this real. So like we could not reveal anything, any little details. So it was like one of the biggest secrets you could try and keep. So just picture that when you're hearing everybody's details. So yeah, Dad, you could take it away, and then you guys in that frame can go from there.
What, pressure? There was no pressure. There was no stress. There was nothing about it. No, but yeah, there was tons of it.
I was going to say, you're right.
Yeah, as Jesse can attest, there was a lot of meltdowns. Yeah, I had a lot of problems with it because they portrayed me as being mean and wanted to basically abuse my son, things like that, break things, and
the safety of things.
Yeah, we were worried about the safety of the family, things like that. So yeah, a lot of that played into it, and was always worried about everybody else and basically the way I was portrayed. So yeah, a lot of anxiety.
Did you have any left?
You were an angel. Why would you have problems?
The only anxiety I had was after I ran into the pool. That was
Oh, his mic went.
Wait, if you guys turn the volume up on the mic or on the gain, or move the mic closer to you guys, or like more towards the middle of you.
Anyway, like I was saying. And the only anxiety I had at all was after I ran into the pool because.
Nope, there it goes.
Yeah, for some reason the volume's
so
not.
quiet.
Yeah.
Is that better?
Mm-hmm.
Little, keep going.
How about now?
Yeah, start talking.
Okay. So the only time I had stress was after I hit the pool and I was supposed to be hurt.
What the heck?
Yeah.
And like it sounds good, then as soon as he talks for a while, it just goes like.
Is it echoing? Is it cutting out?
It's just getting real. It's like lesser.
It just drops.
I think that's when he goes back too.
Without me moving too much.
Like it's trying to balance itself while we're talking so that it's quieter.
Classic.
Probably.
All right, while they're fixing that, Uncle Chris, how about stress for you? Because I remember you were ready to quit by like day 3, I believe.
Probably after day 1. But
Is
I
it better
gave you
now?
my word.
Sounds right.
I gave you my word that I would do it, and I wouldn't go back on that for anything. But scared to death, scared for my family. It was so crazy at that time, and I only did it for a month or so. And I can only imagine what your mom and dad and your immediate family and Uncle Larry, those guys went through it a long time. I can't even imagine that. So, but
you, Anita, and Nancy came at a time pretty much right at the tail end of the Sega series to where it was already at like its peak, and at that time also I want everyone to understand that we were getting swatted. So like for those who don't know what that is like what happens is a fan or whoever will call 911, will pose as me or just some victim or somebody in the family. They'll actually get the police, actually the SWAT, to go to my address, and they had did this at my parents' address for, it was at least 20 times. 911 was getting hit thousands of times, as you guys probably hopefully watched the documentary that went into detail about that. But, swatting was a very real concern. So everyone who was a part of the series, which I kind of want to hear from, I think both Corn and Aunt Melissa, because you guys, your houses weren't, like Corn specifically, we weren't in much of the series as far as your house was, but you got swatted as well.
Yeah, my swatting was actually super chill because your swatting had already happened. It was so funny though because like the day not funny, but kind of coincidental. The day you got swatted, I was driving to the gym, and all of a sudden like 5 or 6 cop cars fly by me, and I'm like, what the heck's going on? Like, like what is going on in these 5 or 6 cop cars? And all of a sudden, like a few hours later, I'm like, I get the text, like, I just got swatted. I'm like, oh, that makes sense. Yeah, but when I got swatted, huh?
So they were real cool?
Yeah, when I got swatted, I was just like, streaming, obviously. And then I see my dad's head poke upstairs, and he was like, they were getting swatted. And I was like, are you kidding me? And he's like, yeah. So then I end the stream, and then there's like 3 cops, and they're like, hey, are you like Zachary Cornetzer? And I'm like, yeah. And they're like, so I forget what they said, like you're not trying to kill your family or something like that, whatever it was. They're like, and I was like, yeah, I'm just screaming, and they're like, okay, that's kind of what we figured when we got the call, because we had gotten a few others, and I was like, yeah, I don't know why they do it, but they were all good.
Already kind of like,
yeah, they had already kind of gotten the gist of it after yours had gotten hit like a billion times.
Yeah, because the first swatting that we had gotten hit with, the police force was unaware that this was a kind of a thing that people did. So, they came with full force, guns drawn, and even though I was pleading like, yo, it's a swatting, like it's a fake call, bogus call, they still went through protocol, and it was a shit show. So, Aunt Melissa, you guys also were swatted as well, I believe.
Yes. They came in the middle of the night, about 2 o'clock. My husband was sleeping on the couch. My son's bedroom's upstairs, and all of a sudden they were woke to all the lights. And when they came in, they said that there was a report that Melissa was ISIS.
Oh,
there you go.
I always wonder what they say we're doing. It's always kind of curious.
Well, they didn't believe George that I wasn't ISIS, so they had to come in my bedroom, pull me out, and then when I said, "Oh no, I'm Aunt Melissa from the Psycho series," oh, okay. So they'd already known. And they said that there was a report that Melissa.
Are you still with George? That's your husband?
Yes.
Wait, is he around?
Yes. You want to see him?
Yeah.
George, come here for a second. Summer's been knocking on the door trying to get here.
Because you guys got into some pretty crazy fights during the Psycho series. I remember one you smashed a bottle of alcohol on the kind of bar floor. Is that real?
No, I made that character up accidentally the first night it was there. It was at Larry's camper, and I guess the way it came off as a mean bitch, and so went with it.
Natural.
Did you like playing that? Did you feel like it was like kind of? Like something
Yeah, no,
you felt comfortable playing?
No, I had fun doing it.
Okay.
The only pressure I got was trying to get it perfect for you.
Right. What do you have a favorite video that you had done?
The one where I kicked Larry between the balls accidentally.
Oh, no.
No, I'm kidding.
In the knee, my bad knee, every single time. That's where his balls are.
I felt bad about that.
I was hanging low.
No, I like the video too of the Christmas fight getting thrown in the Christmas tree.
Nice, because I believe that was you. You volunteered for that.
I know that was my tree, and I was bruised up.
But that was a Christmas classic, and guys on the Facebook stream, I just want to make clear that like what you guys see in the videos that were coming out 2 videos a day were they took multiple takes, so you're seeing the finished product and it looks pretty smooth, somewhat, it seems realistic, whatever, but that's after doing it for a second, a third, a fourth, sometimes into double-digit times. So, when Aunt Melissa says, I wanted to make it right for Jesse, it was like, that's because I was very particular, and we would do it again and again and again. I think we did the Christmas tree one specifically. Well, I think we did it, but you only got thrown in once, I believe, but as far as like the lead up, we did that probably like 20 times.
Because I kept looking fake falling into the chair because I was trying to catch myself.
Right. All right, we're gonna take some more questions. Oh, this Crystal says this isn't the whole cast. Disappointed. Who did you like to see? Because we could hurry up and get them in here. People are bored these days. How much you're stuck in
Nothing
the house.
to do.
Andrea says your mom looks great.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah, Mom, how did you feel about because I think the last time they saw you, I think you had like red hair or something.
You wanted it to be that color. You wanted it to be
Right.
different and more bold.
Yeah.
I kind of liked it, but not to get it again.
Yeah. A lot of people said they sided with Uncle Larry, and that's the cool thing I saw. I want to talk about like the Uncle Larry character for a bit, because over the last few months I've noticed that like out of all the characters, it was like a lot of you guys really enjoyed and appreciated Uncle Larry's like wisdoms or supportive attitude. So I just want to hear from Uncle Larry just talking about that character and if it's anything like him in real life, or kind of what it was like to kind of play that person.
I think that I was probably the closest to myself out of anybody. That's right here, anyway. But no, except for I'm not that over the top. Like Jeff would have never held me up against the wall when I just stood there. At least got a shot in. It's very gentle. Yeah. No, I think I was pretty close, but that's what you wanted, though, Jesse. I mean, you wanted me to be pretty much myself.
Would you say, as far as like Uncle Larry's kind of, what the hell is that sound, Aunt Jackie?
They're the two puppies.
Yeah, right.
What?
Oh, that was you, Jeff.
They're playing.
How would you feel, like, say Psycho Kid's character, wanting to pursue his dreams of YouTube or gaming? Do you side with a lot of Uncle Larry's beliefs in that like could be a job?
Definitely. I think I kind of felt. Well, I feel like that with anybody. It's like you should go after, do what you want to do what you love to do. And a lot of people don't realize this, but that's exactly how Jeff is.
So if you had to give some kind of if you had to give some kind of Uncle Larry advice to all the Facebook viewers, whether it comes to like pursuing what they want to do, or maybe trying to prove to a parent, or maybe it's the parents that don't necessarily fully understand what their kids want to do, what kind of advice do you think Uncle Larry would give to those people watching?
I would tell them to tell their parents to have a Corona, sit back, relax, and let their kid be their kid. And they have to learn to make their own mistakes, and they have to pursue their own dream in life. You can't live their life for them. So.
Nice. Does your dad actually mow lawns for a living?
Yes, for 25 years, I did it as a side job.
And I think as of this year, it's done, right?
Yes, we did a video of me quitting, retiring from the lawn business. So, yeah, I'm done.
This needs an award. Thank you, guys. We actually, although we didn't win a Streamy Award for the Psycho series, we did end up winning for the documentary that came out the following year, which, guys, I encourage you to watch it. That is linked on my Facebook page. It's available on Storyfire. It's an hour and a half long, details everything we went through. It's a super high-quality production. Thanks to Brian Spitz. It says, Linda says, how many vehicles did you guys destroy in the Psycho series? So there was the Montero, Mitsubishi Montero that got destroyed. We originally tried to drop a tree on it. That was a deleted Psycho video, and then we threw an Xbox through it, and then my dad beat it to death. Warrior's truck, which there he is. There is Mr. S. Right now, I'm gonna spotlight him.
I should put my hat on, man.
Yeah, I don't know if they recognize it.
Oh, there he is down at the bottom.
Right.
George.
Hey.
How's everything going,
Hey,
Mr.
Jay.
S? We got all the
Hey,
Facebook
Jay.
viewers say what's up.
What's up out there, man, in live town?
Not too much. So they, a lot of the viewers are curious, like how much of what you guys portrayed during the Psycho series between you and your wife is that like how a real fight would go down?
No, not that serious. That was overstated a little bit for the fun-loving fans there, but it would it might escalate about half that probably.
Now, the people are curious is like how, like, did you guys enjoy acting like that? Was it like
No,
or what made you guys do that?
no, because you asked. Did I enjoy it? No, not while it was going on. It was stressful for me because I'm not an actor. But I did enjoy the fact that when you edited it and how it came out, that I did actually enjoy because, you made it seem better than what we were, or at least better than I was. So I took pride in that when it came out, it looked good. But during trying to remember the lines or coming up and, trying to act and put a little bit of thought into it and try to remember the words at the whole time was honestly a little stressful for me because I'm not an actor. So, but that would. But go ahead.
Would you say that anybody can act?
I can say if given enough chances and enough retakes, most people probably could do a half decent job. If I could do it, then I would say most people could do it. I mean, you're not going to nail it on the first take, though. I mean, you're too nervous. Especially, I remember in the beginning, I would look at the camera the whole time, and you would say, "Hey, you can't do that." And it took. You got to stop looking at the damn camera. But after a while, you get a hang of it. After you do it for a couple, it gets a little easier. And like you said, I mean, when you edit it in and take the good parts, could anybody do it? If they wanted to, anybody could do it. But you'd have to want to put a little bit of effort into it.
Nice. We had a question here. Kathy's wanting to talk to Korn. Did you like working with me?
So back to the stress question. I feel like the worst part about being the cameraman was like the whole scene would be going down, and like my view might be viewed as like easier because I didn't have to act. But then all of a sudden the scene would go great, and everybody would be like, "Yeah, high five! That was great! That was great!" And I'm just like, I hope that looked good because I think it looked good, but I'm not always sure what you're looking for. So I'm like, I couldn't join in on the celebration.
Right. I think that's an important note for all the viewers is like, once again, it's like you guys didn't see all the retakes. You guys just saw the finished product. But understanding that like it felt super real because there was Korn behind the camera and it was shot in such a way to where you wouldn't feel sort of like the big turns or the big pans. It was a very smooth, slow building, and you know, Corn worked with me every single day, so we're, you know, you got to see some of these other cast members
and just such a random schedules. All of a sudden you'd be like, all right, you need to hear in half an hour, and I'd be like, oh, all right, let me get dressed or something.
How many years was the series? It was technically 3.5, but we really started grinding for 2. It was like 1.5 to 2 years, to where it was like 2 videos a day. So you guys on Facebook got 2 videos daily, one at 3 p.m., one at 8 p.m. That's not far off from the schedule that we were running during the Psycho series. So Corn and I would wake up, he'd come over, and we'd get whoever we needed for scenes, we'd film, and then I'd quickly get the footage. That's when I know if Corn, you know, shot well or not. But usually there was nothing ever like bad, because we were shooting in a reality format, so it was a little more forgiving.
All of a sudden, I would just get the text like, "Yeah, it was good." I'm like, oh, "Okay,"
good. Like,
or you'd be like, "Wow, that was actually pretty good." I'd be like, "Oh, okay, that was nice."
And so you guys got to see the run. So like Corn and I'd edit, I'd upload it in real time, and then we'd film the second one, you know, real late. I'd get that. Some of the videos would actually go live at 1 a.m., 2 a.m. So you guys got it more in line. But then also just with that grind, I mean, that was me and Corn, that was our everything. But for everybody else in the Psycho series that you saw, they're working full-time jobs on top of being in the videos. So, you know, more often than not, I mean, Dad, Mom, Uncle Larry, literally everybody in here, if anyone wanted to talk about that grind from like job to job to like filming, you know, feel free to jump in here.
Go ahead, Jeff.
Well, it's just I had a lot of big issues with that, because it was constant, day in, day out, a lot of late nights, and everybody had to get up and go to work at like, you know, 5:30, 6 o'clock in the morning. And Jesse, his hours were different than everybody else's, so when he got started, he wanted to continue, and if it was take after take after take, and it was late at night, and then we all had to get up in the morning, and then he had to go edit. And then he would sleep till noon. So we had to work.
What do you feel about the sleeping till noon schedule? Because is that a real thing that's like you share with Psycho Dad, where you disagree with sleeping in, or is?
No, I don't disagree with it, because it's just everybody's hours are different. Like you would be up till 3, 4, or 5 in the morning, or sometimes even later than that. So yeah, that would get.
I think he's trying to say you would want to start late, and you could afford to stay up until.
Yeah, we just couldn't.
In the morning, and we were lacking.
Yeah, we couldn't afford to stay up late, because by the time I got done work, Larry got done work, George, Melissa, Chris, everybody else, you know, got done work. Our day was basically getting done, and yours was basically getting started. So yeah, there was a lot of anxiety, a lot of sleepless nights, and. You know, it was just it weighed on everybody, and not just me.
All right, we got a few.
I was angry a lot.
Questions. We had a few different questions here. One is somebody says that you can see Melissa's still drinking. What are you drinking, Aunt Melissa?
What else? Well, Grigio.
When was the last episode? So the last episode of the Psycho series was June 6th of 2016. So, you know, we're actually not far off from the 4-year reunion. Chris, the cops did intervene a lot, and it wasn't just swatting. So in the final few weeks of the Psycho series, our case was up in front of the Attorney General. Me and my dad were brought into an interrogation room, talked for a few hours, and it was like, you basically need to shut down this series, or you know, your case will be going in front of grand jury and all this shit, and like, you know, we'll shut it down. Either you shut it down or we'll shut it down very shortly. But I was like, pretty much like, guys, it's over in like 2 weeks. Let me finish it my way, and then you'll never have to worry about it again. And you know, that among other things, you know, the FBI were involved at a certain point when we did Psycho Kid Gets Arrested. They were up my ass for quite a bit, phone calls wise. And, you know, that was just during the Psycho series. What happened after the Psycho series in the last few years, you know, we've always had a relationship with the police, but it's been good. It's like now it's like a mutual understanding of like, okay, we understand the nature of the content and we understand the nature of like online. People get passionate, they want to call in. But yeah, it's definitely pretty wild experience. All this. Somebody said they want to see more series. They want to see more stuff.
And to speak on Jesse's conviction, when we were called to the barracks for the interrogation, I you know, the utmost respect for Jesse's desire to get this done. He never let up. You know, these investigators are basically in our face, telling everybody to shut down, and he held his ground. I mean, there was no stopping him for, you know, presenting this to the people and continuing it no matter what. So the utmost respect to him. You know, as a father, it's amazing to watch your son, you know, with his business sense and how much this meant to him, you know, to present this to cops who are telling you basically shut down or we're gonna arrest you. So
yeah, it was
amazing.
And it was pretty ongoing that, like, because the cops were getting so many 911 calls, and not just towards the end of the series, but throughout, whether my dad destroyed the gaming room or, you know, technically the dad was just being abusive in different scenes, you know, a lot of people were calling. So I remember the very first swatting, the cops all came into my room. It was like 6 of them, and they're like, so what is this YouTube business? Like, what is Twitch? And I explained it to them, and they're like, well, you got to stop then. If it's calls and all these calls, you got to stop what you're doing. And I was like, no, this is my full-time job. Unfortunately, back then, and even there's a lot of people still now, they don't understand that it is a full-time job. And unfortunately, I have to start like talking numbers with these guys, and I'm not doing it in a way to like flex on them, but it's just a matter of trying to get people to understand that, like, when you command millions of people's attention, that obviously leads to a lot of money. And it's just, that's all, you know, all this is. It's an attention game with any business. You want customers, you want consumers, you want eyeballs. So, you know, the cops over the years became kind of more friendly with us, and we've even been able to kind of use them in certain videos. Somebody said, where's Jeffrey? So Jeffrey should be entering in any moment now. He might even be in the queue right now. Let me double check that. No, he's not in yet. Dag, you text Jeffrey, see where he's at. I'm sure there's
My phone's on the counter. Larry was just asking me.
I can text.
Okay.
And getting back to things that happened, how about speaking of the police? And again, they were just doing their job. But the night we did the destruction of the gaming room in the garage, the cops showing up right before we were starting, standing at the gate.
It was literally probably within like 3 minutes. 3 minutes of us starting the live stream, because people knew shit was gonna go down. So they would, thankfully, we talked, the stream like started a little later, but I remember it was like, because we were on edge. I mean, and Corn could attest that day. I mean, Corn and I were in a makeshift room that was gonna get demolished around
like, this building is literally gonna fall down on us, pretty much like in a movie. Like,
and there was a lot of danger to that. I mean, there's a lot of danger to all the stunts, you know, whether it's Uncle Ed going in the pool, us being in the trailer when it's getting destroyed, or the room, to where, like, I mean, we didn't know what was gonna happen, and it's all live too, so you can't fuck up. And that's one thing. Another note of, like, some of the vlogs were forgiving, but anytime we had a Psycho video, you know, there's a point of no return. So if we're gonna destroy something, whether it's car, Xbox, you know, whatever, pool, you got one shot. So the adrenaline rush that all of us would feel, or even if we had a more climactic scene, even if it was just an argument, you know, you're getting a rush, like, because you know you got to perform. It felt like a sport in a way, where it's like, yo, it's showtime. You got to show up on the field, and then you got to give it your all, and then all these people are going to see it and are going to judge you for it, and you don't want to let everyone else down. And when you got somebody, you know, who's really killing it in a scene, and you're also in the scene, you don't want to be the one to fuck it up. Like, and I think that's really what helped, you know, elevate everybody, is everyone brought their A game. There was so much accountability to where it was like, all right, let's keep pushing the boundary too.
Yeah, you get right to that destruction part, and then all of a sudden Jesse says, stop, that wasn't good enough, and everybody's like, oh gosh.
It's like, oh, it's like, get right to the edge. It's like a tease. What was the most nerve-wracking? What was that? What was the most nerve-wracking video? Oh, Does anyone have an immediate reaction to that?
Well, how about the burning of the fan mail? Remember, I was having a meltdown about because the wind was so bad. You were going to burn the whole woods down, and then you were yelling at me and screaming that we were going to do it. So then you let me dig a hole so we could put the fan mail in it, so the wind wouldn't blow the ambers into the woods. And then all of a sudden, all hell breaks loose, and the rain came. And yeah, Larry was basically the security guy at the end of the driveway that day, trying to keep the cops away. Yep.
You know, I think I realized what's wrong with the mic for you. I think if you change the setting to be more open, because I think Uncle Larry, you and my mom are on the side, it's mainly directed towards my dad.
Yeah, because your dad comes through perfect.
Well, that's the way it's supposed to be.
I mean, he's the one everybody wants to hear from.
Hey, Jesse.
Yes.
I think experience-wise for me, the most, I wouldn't say stressful, but sad was when your dad came to the farm and you were so proud to show him the things that you've done, and then he just demoralized you there. I tell you, I mean, I know it was fake, but standing there right there and hearing him demoralize you, it was sad and it really hurt, you know, and I know him and I know he wouldn't do that to you in real life, but you know, it had to come across very, very real and very raw to people that didn't know it was a storyline.
Yeah, I think that was one of the best things throughout the Sega series is we weren't afraid to tackle very real shit and very real
like getting thrift shown at you.
Right, exactly.
Who does
we
that?
We kind of do very uncomfortable things, and we explored. There was a lot of emotion behind so many different interactions, to where, like, you know, I can see where one would compare it to a soap opera, to where it was very dramatic stuff, and that being, you know, case in point right there. I want to hear from Anita and Nancy. You know, kind of piggybacking off Uncle Chris. How was it for you guys, stress or, you know, nerve-wracking wise, because you guys came into it completely blind?
I thought you were kidding. I never thought that this was a thing. Like I never thought it would be like that.
And so Anita, share everyone watching here, how did we meet?
You knocked on my door.
Do
it.
Who the heck are you guys?
I thought I was helping some poor college student like make a video. I thought you were totally crazy.
And what twisted it? Because there was something that happened when we came that changed. It kind of opened the door a little bit.
Joey had friends over. My son, he was, how long ago was this? Joey was like 12, I think. And one of his friends is freaking out in my living room. That's Jesse Ridgway. And I'm like, yeah. He said he was Jesse Ridgway. And like, he's the one who knew. And then I was on the first day. And the next day after I was on, I volunteered at the middle school to be one of the room moms to sell books at the book fair. And we sold more books that day than they sold all week, because all the kids bought a book from me.
Now, how was it when you guys first started appearing on video? Kind of both you and Nancy. Was there some nerves, or did you feel pretty comfortable?
I didn't realize it was as big as it was, so I wasn't nervous at all.
It kind of just felt like a home video type.
Yeah, you kind of just said, I just want you to touch on this, but we're gonna do a couple other things, and then we just did what you told us to do, sometimes 6 times.
And did you feel like you and Nancy were pretty similar to how you guys actually are?
Yeah. The only thing is, you had me, I was supposed to like not know anything about, like, I was kind of stupid to like technology, but that's not me.
Yeah, because all you guys didn't see, but Anita was showing us she's got like 4 Zoom calls happening simultaneously with like 5 laptops in front of her. So, well, you guys actually started your own YouTube channel. I don't know that they really got to see that through the Facebook experience, but throughout the YouTube series, is we saw Uncle Larry with a channel, Corn with a channel, the McCann's Farm with a channel. We saw Aunt Melissa's son Georgie with a channel. So, like, how was it, and I guess hearing for everybody, like, starting your own YouTube channel, is that something that was something maybe you'd recommend to other people watching, or like how hard was that? We'll hear from you guys first.
From me first, it was a lot of
Yeah.
fun at first, but it's a lot of work. When we were doing it at first, it was easy because the farm wasn't busy. But as soon as the season rolled around, where we were trying to film and farm and go to farmers markets, it got really hard. And then Nancy just took over always filming.
Yeah, Nancy, are you guys still filming stuff, or is
Yeah,
that?
we do, but you know, along with what you do is like in the winter we're not farming, and people. I gotta tell you, once all the craziness died down and we had some really awesome fans, it was like, how much do you want to share with them? We've had, you know, I don't. Anita was going through a divorce. Pop passed away in March, and like my husband almost passed away 3 years ago. So it's like, what do you put in there? What do you not tell them? And that was a tough one. But
Yeah.
because of you, I mean, I think it's really awesome. Like Colleen's sitting here with me. She has a very rare disease, and so many people knew about Glute One and what she goes through, and we were able to share a lot about her and about Anita's kids and what they go through. But it's just that line of what do you put out there and what do you keep personal?
Yeah, because you know, it's such a beautiful thing is like YouTube and sharing content and having this community and all you guys watching. Thank you once again for all the support. It's been crazy, but the fact that, you know, it creates this community to where you can share like certain issues or even personal things. Like the Sega series was a very personal extension of me, my entire family. I mean, it was like all of our hearts and hard work and everything put into one series. So it was so great to see it so well received. But it also has a, you know, a negative side to it too, where, you know, you open yourself up to so many criticisms, or, you know, swattings, or, you know, people, you know, coming to your house. I mean, you know, Uncle Larry and Corn and I, there was a lot of times even going to Aunt Jackie's house during a construction series or throughout times where we were followed. You know, we had very weird fan encounters. So there's definitely a dark edge to everything, but I want to hear back to like starting a YouTube channel. Uncle Larry, how was that for you first, kind of creating one and kind of exploring that?
Well, I can remember when you left. Can you guys hear me now?
It's still almost just take my dad's seat and slide him.
Just lean over.
Thank you. So anyway,
yeah.
Hold on, why don't I just
take
grab
the
the mic
mic.
in front of me?
There we go.
Come on, Elvis, sing in the mic.
No, I remember when you were over and then you left, but you were only here for, I forget if it was a month or something.
It's his voice.
I don't know what. Yeah, go back to sliding over that way.
This way?
That actually worked,
try
yeah.
that.
Yeah, that's good.
So, anyway, like I was
Hey, that
who
works.
loves you, baby?
Yeah. Keep that
See, they're
position.
friends, guys. They're friends.
Social
Larry,
distance.
what's that touching my leg?
This was a
Are you
mistake.
glad to see me?
I know it was a mistake. No, I remember after Jesse left that I kind of missed it, and I thought it was something that me and Tom could possibly get into, because Tom's world is so different than my world.
There he
He's
is.
all about the electronics and stuff. I'm all about sports. Tom's nothing about sports. So I thought it was a way that we could actually connect, and that was true when we had said that in the when we came out with that and everything. And I think that it brought us a lot closer together because we actually do something that we enjoy doing, because we still go strong on it.
So yeah, guys, if you want to watch Uncle Larry's channel, they still do make content. You can get to see everything happening, because it was really cool during Sega series going on is all of our channels sort of commingled. So we'd have videos like related to what was happening on, you know, each other's stuff. So if you highly encourage you to go back to check out Larry's Lounge on YouTube. You can go back, see everything that was happening and currently happening.
Yeah.
Because not too much has changed. There's still always some drama or some weird, crazy stuff going on.
Oh, definitely.
They liked your Eagle shirt too. I just seen it on the screen.
Uncle Larry is married, yes.
Yes.
What is everyone's favorite video? I'll
Hmm.
take that one. I gotta go with, it's so hard because there's so many different like flavors, but I mean, Sega Kid Kills Father is the most important one to me, because that was my proverbial finish line. That was like Flea's country is like an epilogue in many ways, to where like, all right, let's see what he's doing. But that was the emotional climax of the character, to where like the father-son relationship and the entire point of the series led to that pinnacle moment where it was the dad's abusive parenting that drove him to that, not the violence in the video games. It was the absolute worst tragic ending, to serve as a message. That is not the answer by any means, but to see, that was the Psycho series. It's called that because you see a kid literally become psychotic because of his environment, the people around him, how they acted. And, you know, even when Psycho Kid had saving graces, which was his mom at a time, or Uncle Larry at a time, even those, or even Korn, or Uncle Chris turned at a certain point, all those lights went dark in kind of the dark days, and then it led him to do what he did. So it just shows, like, you know, you need a light, you need somebody, you know, whether it is an uncle character, or whether it is a family member or friend or whoever it is, or even a woman you met at a farm, to reach out to these people and to try and help those going through stuff or struggling. And I know so many people reached out over on Facebook as well as did on YouTube, that have parents that don't agree with them or don't support them, or, you know, are on the other side. Like, my kid won't stop, you know, playing video games or whatever. And it's just like almost trying to get everyone to open their minds to other people's beliefs or opinions, or, you know, what they're passionate about, and try and kind of bridge that gap. So The Kills Father to me is like, that was the core essence of the series. And I love the "you made me this way" kind of just punch. It's just everything right there. But yeah, anyone else favorite video?
My favorite was Psycho Kid Flea's Country, and I know it wrapped everything up, but it also showed how Jesse became like really deep with his emotions and was going to kill himself, and just like showed everybody that that's not what to do, that's not where to go. So that was my favorite, and also because Juliet's beautiful battle cry and everything was just perfect. I thought it was just a perfect ending. That was my personal favorite. Did you have that?
Yeah, my favorite was Shredding Videos, only because that was thrown together basically, and Jess can attest to this, probably in 15 minutes. And it was basically the easiest video to throw together, and it just did so well. I mean,
yeah, like I was so rushed for that. I was like, yo, I would have traded these video games into GameStop for like $20, and so I was like, Dad, like they like this Psycho shit. Like, what if you ran him over? He's like, all right, I'll give you 20 minutes because I actually got to go out and mow. And I was like, what the fuck? So I was like, all right. So I went over it real quick, but like I was still very like particular in certain things. And he's like, yeah. And I think that helped, is that like usually whoever I was filming with was like, yo, we got to go. Like, I got work, I got to go to sleep or whatever. And it was like, some may view that as like an inhibitor of like, all right, wow, they're not letting you do your thing. But I was like, okay, it actually fueled me and got me faster and working harder. So I was like, all right, Dad. I was like, all right. It was like became competitive. I was like, all right, you want to do it real fast? Let's do it real fucking fast. So it was like, then we shot it. I threw it up. I was happy with it, and it didn't do much. And then 3 weeks later, all of a sudden, bang.
And then getting back to that, but actually on that video, the timing of everything, when you're sitting in the room and you say, hello, and you know, you go through the whole process, your brother's filming from another angle, and then just the timing of everything, the way it worked out, it was just, I think we hit the sweet spot, as you did with the screaming and yelling, but just the timing of it was perfect. And nice. and again, I still have that little note you left stating that if we hit 3 million, it was a few weeks later. I think it remembered somebody did something like in Portugal, Spain, wherever the case may be, that bumped up that video. And you said if we hit 3 million, we're stars or something like that. It's what I remember as one of the big moments.
Yeah. How about Corn? Corn, do you have a favorite that we shot?
Well, the most fun to do was the painting the room. Definitely.
Yeah.
That was hilarious. But favorite video would probably be when Larry hit the pool, just because I think that looked so cool. Like the water went way higher than I thought it was gonna go. I was like, and then like we had to run out there and like drive him to the hospital, and we weren't able to ask him like, "Are you actually okay?" until we had already gotten him in the car and we're driving. Like then we were able to ask him like, "Are you actually good?" He's like, "Yeah, I'm fine." And we're like, "Oh, okay, thank goodness."
That's still one of my favorite parts is that turn in the car where like, because the whole time in the back of my head I'm like, yo,
he might be hurt.
He's killing the performance right now, or he's actually fucked up. Like, and it was like, are you good? Like, yeah, I'm good. Yeah.
Yeah.
That was perfect. The camera shot of him going in there.
Cord, I gotta give you props because if you don't turn that camera at the right time.
I love the way that turned out. It was it was so good.
Because I remember that was the hardest thing of like to not predict the truck. It was like, we just gotta stay on that side and just stay straight. And it was like, oh shit.
Definitely the best action shot.
Yeah.
There was one. There was when we did that take, and I had to sit out there in the driveway, and we must have took. I can't even tell you how many times I had to call him on the phone, and then I was all pumped up because you were trying to shoot me down the whole time.
I was trying to lower the speed limit.
Told me I was going to die and
Safety
everything.
first.
Yeah. So I'm all pumped up for it. 6 meters or 7, something like that. Into it.
You're on private property. It doesn't matter how many meters.
Exactly. And then I would call up Jesse, and then all of a sudden he's like, "No, let's redo it." And I'm like, so then we kept doing it, and then all of a sudden I remember the last time when it got to that point, because there's always a point of no return, and I was like, "Oh shit." Now I gotta actually do it.
We're doing this.
Yeah, and then I just went reverse, and then I just poured it. And the other funny thing was, is Jesse wouldn't let me wear my glasses. And
right.
Yeah, you remember that, right? And I told you, I said, I can't see crap without my glasses. And Jeff was going to be around in front of the fence. I said, Jeff, don't trip and fall. Don't run your ass over, 'cause I'm never going to do it. My fat ass is getting out of the way.
It's crazy watching back the POV. If you guys wanted to see the first person angle of the truck hitting the swimming pool, Uncle Larry has that on his channel. But my dad was actually pretty damn close to getting.
I was standing at the filter.
Yeah.
Big man down.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Big man was getting the hell out of the way.
I still remember that because we had so many false starts in that video because there was a big cloud that kept like changing the lighting on the pool, and I wanted to be perfect. But like I do remember that final take to where like we hit that point of no return, and I just remember my brain just being like, what the like all of a sudden it just penetrated through, and it was like I remember all the water just rushing out, and it was like you enter another zone in your brain where it's just like everything else just blurs, and it's a completely bizarre adrenaline experience. But how was that? Because like, can you vividly remember the turn, Uncle Larry, when you actually like
I remember like
knew this was the one?
I remember this. I backed it up, and then I floored it. And the last time I looked at the speedometer, it was right around 40. And when I came around the curve, I was like, "Where's that damn?" Jesse put a leaf on the fence, and then he tells me not to wear my glasses. So I'm like, "Where is it? Where is it?" And then when I hit the fence, I closed my eyes because I thought something was going to come through the windshield. And I was supposed to turn the wheel hard to go kind of so the airbags wouldn't go off. And the next thing I know, the pool was right there. And Jesse told me, he said, "Get out of the truck and then like kind of stagger and then fall." And for some reason, I didn't want to mess it up at that point. I was just like,
yeah. I think that's what freaked me out. I was like, holy shit, he's unconscious. I was like, we're done. We're taking him to the hospital legit. I think we have somebody's trying to penetrate the call right now. Let's see.
So for everybody questioning, I think he's talking about JT.
Whoa! There he is. Let's see if he's. Let me unmute him here. Jeffrey.
Carl? Is this Carl?
And guys, Jeffrey is in the live stream. Hello, Jeffrey.
Hello, Jeffrey.
The BigBrudda.
And Jackie, I haven't seen you in years. How's it been?
Oh, it's been fine. How have you been?
Are you good?
Yeah, I'm good.
Yeah, it's been a while.
It's been 4 years since we all seen each other since the second series.
This is crazy. This
We all
is like
couldn't
that
stand each other
Survivor
after
reunion,
that, so we
except
just
4 years later.
Survivor reunion.
Jeffrey is in, so feel free. Any questions? There was one question. I hope they're still in here. I forget who it was, but they wanted to know about the divorce specifically and just how that portraying all of that affected your relationship throughout, and then just if at all now.
Is that your mother and I?
Yes.
Yeah, I thought it was about me.
Basically, when we got done that divorce, I called my lawyer because it was so real. Your mother sold it so well. I felt so bad. I'm turning around. I said, "Son of a bitch, I got to get a lawyer."
I had friends on the
There's a
street.
lot of
Maybe
heartfelt
some of the
feelings
best
in there.
acting that one divorce.
Yeah, my mom really killed that.
Yeah, that was
It was
crazy.
very good. Your mom sold it.
Friends on the street were actually asking us.
Yeah.
Yeah, what's that, Uncle Chris?
I said, friends I met at the lumber yard or on the street in the store that happen to know the situation there. They're like, I've known you guys for so long. Is that really true about Jeff and Terry? And I'm like, and I had to think for a moment. And I'm like, and I wasn't allowed to say anything. I'm like, it's entertainment purposes or something. I can't tell you.
That was a very difficult video. I do remember being very upset the night before.
Lean in.
If you're gonna, slide over towards Dad.
Mm-hmm.
Ma, slide over towards Dad.
Yeah, we can't hear you.
How the mic's directional system?
No, I said the night before that I knew we had to do this. I was very wound up. I couldn't sleep. I had butterflies in my stomach. I felt very pressured to get it right. And when you guys pulled that thing on me and told me that it was good, I thought, oh no, I am not doing this again.
Do you feel like it affected your guys' relationship at all?
No.
How about for the duration that you guys were divorced? Because I want people to understand, because if you guys didn't watch the doc, which you should do so, it's on Storyfire. It's called Psycho Family. The link is on my page. What you had to hide for
That
like
I didn't
6
like.
months.
Yeah, I didn't like hiding. I didn't like having to go into a room, be quiet, no TV, no
You
nothing.
forgotten about.
And then sometimes you forget me.
Yeah, and then we couldn't go anywhere. That was another thing. We had to basically stay in
Yeah.
character all the time.
They were quarantined before the quarantine happened.
Exactly. It's basically lockdown.
Remember when?
Yeah, we were in quarantine.
Remember when you guys came to my granddaughter's christening, and Jeff and JT and Jesse sat up front with the family, and Terry sat all the way in the back. Separated.
Yeah, that's bullshit.
Yes, it is bullshit.
Right.
and
But anything
you
to
guys
sell it
snuck-
for Jesse.
Yeah.
I think you guys snuck out though, I believe, and went to the diner at one point, and I was pissed.
No, we fornicated in the priest's office right after that christening.
Jesus.
Just to
I
prove a
have no
point.
memory of any of this.
Yeah.
I can say anything I want.
But they went to length to sell this for you, Jesse. They certainly
They
did.
But
And
say something real quick when you're done, Chris.
yeah, go for it.
I said one night we were out at this restaurant in Rico's, and the owner's son was waiting tables, and he spotted Jeff and Terry, and those two, especially Jeff, was so upset because he thought we're not supposed to be together, and this kid is looking at us, and they're hiding around the corner because he wanted to take pictures of
Yeah,
them.
he was trying to take a picture
Yes.
from afar.
And
but the
Terry was
funny
making
thing
eyes
is-
at me, and I had to look away.
For Mother's Day, George and I ordered dinner there, and he delivered it. And when he came in the yard, I said, "Oh my gosh, I know you!" And he looked at me. I said, "I'm Aunt Melissa from the Psycho series." Oh my gosh, that's right. I remember you guys.
What's crazy is that for you guys on Facebook, that during the series, not only were we trying to maintain the reality, but there was people blatantly trying to expose it. So there were channels, designed to expose the series. There was people coming to our house, filming with cameras, trying to get some dirt, trying to catch us in the act of setting up a video. So even as crazy as like the divorce and having to hide my mom, I think there's a level of like, is all this necessary? And it was crazy because people would snap a pic of them together. That would go out on social media. Next thing you know, viral. One in which, now that we have Jeffrey, we actually had an inside person try to expose us. Jeffrey, talk a little bit about that one.
Yeah, so I had this dog named Ella, and she got really mad one day. And no, not her. It's actually my dog, Kate, who I inadvertently named her after my fake ex-girlfriend in the Psycho series. Yeah, so
she was your real girlfriend, though.
Yeah, her name was actually Siobhan. It wasn't Kate. So she just used the name Kate because it was easier than spelling out Siobhan at Starbucks. So that's the origination of that. And we had planned. Well, we didn't plan. I guess I had kind of planned about breaking up. And I think I had mentioned to Jesse and Korn like the 20 minutes before we shot Psycho Girlfriend Breaks iPad. I was like, yeah, I think I'm gonna break up with her. And we filmed it. And then afterwards, I was like, yeah, it's kind of really solidifies my decision. Just got a little too real in there. And like a couple weeks later, I think I finally pulled the plug. And then I think a year later is when she finally pulled the plug on our whole thing. And
yeah, so if you guys saw the Psycho Girlfriend Breaks iPad video, Jeffrey's getting bitched at, she destroys his iPad. That girl, they stopped dating legitimately, and she actually took to Facebook and tried to expose the series. So this was something that was ongoing, and we really tried our hardest to maintain the reality. Is Jeffrey single? Yeah, he is. He is single. Corn, are you single? There's girls in here.
Wait, Corn, should me and you get together?
Could be. We did make a pretty good team when we teamed up against Jesse that one time. So maybe there was some chemistry. I mean, I knew nothing about that.
Operation Nameless, really.
Yeah. Jeffrey, favorite video throughout? So we still got to hear from some other people. Favorite video?
I think it still remains the same. The one where we did the cut where we bury you in your underwear. That was just,
that was just
great.
Hysterical to me. It's just so ridiculous because Psycho inadvertently murders me there with a mound of dirt.
Is he moving? Is he okay? And it's just
he's like, oh shit, he's fucking dead. I think like my dad's like, oh shit, we killed him. Where it was like almost like a really lukewarm reaction. It was like, dang it, he's dead.
Yeah.
Keep covering him up.
Is he blocking my dirt?
Yeah. And Jackie, how about we had a whole haunted construction series throughout Psycho because it was cool. The Psycho series divided into like 5 or 6 different little mini series, and a lot of fan favorites, even on Facebook, was helping rebuild that second house for Jesse to live in. But then also there was some haunted stuff going on. Do you have any favorite videos from within that time period?
From within that? No, not one in particular. No, the whole thing was. Well, no, wait a minute. I did like the one where you had to keep saying, I think it was 41 3/4.
46 1/4.
46 1/4. Yeah. See, I can't even remember what it was.
41 3/4. That's close.
Yeah. And I know a lot of people were asking, what is it with that number? And here it's because that was the cue for somebody to come to the window with the scary face.
Yeah, that was Uncle Chuck. Is Uncle Chuck there?
He's in the other room.
Let's get him on because
I don't think he wants to be on.
Oh, he's hiding.
Yeah, he's hiding.
Oh, is he watching? You think?
No. Remember, I had to chase him away from turning on the TV.
Oh, so he's pissed.
Yeah, so he went into hiding.
Johnny asked, "How's Juliet doing?" So Juliet and I broke up a couple years after the series wrapped. She's still making music. She lives in Nashville now, but you guys totally check her out at Juliet Riley on YouTube, Twitter, Instagram. And if you're interested in learning more about any of us that were in the series, feel free to just Google us and find whatever is happening. Anyone else with a favorite video? Nita, Nancy, anything from the farm that you guys specifically enjoyed? Any favorites?
Papa!
He tells Anita, was it that day? He says, hey, I'm coming back for dinner. You're going to make us dinner tonight. I'm like,
oh, that was fun.
Oh, the dinner at the farm.
Yeah.
He told me that, 3 hours before I had to have it ready?
That was that.
But that was one of my favorites too, Anita.
Yeah.
I did really good in 3 hours, didn't I?
Yes, you did.
Yeah. That was a good ass meal, and I loved. There's so many great scenes within that video, to where it just felt like a really wholesome, multi-layered experience, and I think that's where we got to see after the dinner Uncle Chris start to turn a little bit, the character, and it was just cool to see like Uncle Chris bring you flowers and.
And all
Or
the
it's just
cell
a-
phones had to go in a basket, right?
All the stuff, yeah, and because that's real thing, right?
My kids have to put their cell phones on the counter. It's not a basket, but
Hey, Jess, can I ask a question?
Yeah.
Anita and Nancy, the first time I met you guys when I came to the farm to do that video, what did you actually think of me? Because it felt so awkward, like you guys actually believed that what Jesse or the videos were saying was actually me. So was that how you felt, or?
No, it was very strange because you and Chris are such nice people, but then we had to pretend like we have to guard him from this crazy dad that's coming. So it was weird.
Yeah, because I felt very awkward while I was there. I said, "Oh my God, I think they really think I'm that way." So I just, I didn't know how to act and how to feel.
well, Chris had told us. Chris had told us, like, explain, like we knew everything was like made up, but Chris had told us like that you were a nice guy, and but I couldn't be nice to you, or I wouldn't have been able to be mean to you. Like I had to keep that like.
I just had to figure out how to ask it. Terry and I talked about it. I said, yeah, it was so awkward when I first met you guys.
Hey,
So I
Jeff.
just had to ask it.
Hey, Jeff.
What?
They never divulged it, but I think a little bit they were on edge, and they were a little bit, maybe not afraid, but because of what they seen or heard about you, that they thought maybe a piece of it was a little true.
Well, that's what I figured. Yeah, so that's why I figured I'd ask now.
And maybe I'm off base with that, but I believe there was a little bit of I don't know whether skepticism's the right word, but they weren't sure if you were as good as we were telling them you were, or you were still a horse's
Probably.
ass like you were being portrayed.
Yeah.
Because we had watched some of the series just to see what it was, and you were pretty believable to be kind of an ass. So
Yeah, that's me.
Somebody had asked, well, William Fulver says, hey, do you remember when we used to coach you for Little League? Yeah, man, what's up?
Yeah.
And then another question was, does anybody here have any acting experience, or did they have any acting experience?
No.
It's a unanimous no. The curious thing is the acting experience is the videos. So that Jeffrey's
Nice
background right
background, JT.
there. That's the acting experience. Did you really crack a round in your dad's house, or was it sound effects? So the gun we used to say he could kill his father was a blank gun. I remember my dad. So like there was a real gun that looked identical to it that we used towards the end of the series. So like when my dad shoots the Xbox One, that was a real gun, and then we wanted one that looked like it, and we kept showing. When we'd show the gun, it generally was the real one until then the end. I remember my dad was scared because he was like, yo, you make sure that's the freaking, the fake gun, right?
Yeah, because who was it? What was that? Bruce Lee's son. Remember when he got shot by?
Yeah.
Yeah, so
And
that's
his
all I
son
can
got
picture is Jesse shoot me with my own
Yeah,
gun.
his son got shot too, I think.
Yeah.
And there is a level of like Jesse was like trying so hard to make it real. What if I actually did shoot you just to make a banger video?
Right.
Like, because it wasn't long after that like these people did shoot each other. Like somebody shot another one with like they were holding a book to try and deflect the bullet, and somebody actually like got shot and died. So like,
phone book. They practiced it a couple times and it worked.
it's craziness. So YouTube trying to do stuff for views is a lot. How many gaming machines got wasted for this show? We went through, dude. We went through 3 or 4 laptops, or no, probably like 6 laptops, 3 or 4 Nintendo Wii U's, probably 10 to 12 Xboxes.
TVs.
TVs was probably like in the double digits as well.
Cameras.
Yeah, I think the overall like amount of budget went towards destruction and like Switzerland stuff was like upwards of like $100,000. So it was like it got to the point where we started small with like a broken Xbox, and then by the end of the series, I mean, we kept having to one up ourselves, to where it was like we're destroying pools and RVs and fucking rooms. Hoping for an appearance from Dema. Ha. Unfortunately, Dema got destroyed, but I do still have Damien's face from the wall. We actually auctioned off a lot of the props from the Psycho series after we finished. So there's people out there that have like the broken Xbox or the DS. Cameron wants to know, what's the story behind the Yum Yum nickname?
Great question.
I guess that's for me.
Yeah, I guess.
Well, I wanted to call him a dumbass or, stupid, something. And I really felt bad using that all the time. And, I hate directing that towards kids. And at the time, or even now, he's a kid to me. And I didn't want to demean him by calling him dumbass. And I caught myself starting to say it. And I tripped up and I just said, yum, yum. And the next day I came to film, I said, how'd things go last night? Because I never looked at it, and I rarely do now even. I mean, on occasion I look at some. And Jesse says, yeah, everything went great. Whatever you do, keep calling me Yum Yum. So
yeah, that was a fan favorite. Everyone loved I think it just rolls off the tongue.
And I still call him that to this day when we meet up or I call him on the phone, hey, Yum Yum, what are you up to? So,
it's true. It was Yum Yum and Corn Job.
Yeah, Corn Job. Hey, Corn, on the record, I'd like to apologize in front of everybody for hitting you with goat shit. It's 4 years later, but, you wore it well.
For the record, it was for sure planned, and I gave him the thumbs up to do it. I think it might have been my idea, actually. Like, oh, it'd be funny if you actually throw shit at me. So,
dude, yeah, because Uncle Chris, dude, he felt bad.
He felt really bad afterwards.
He was like, yo, I think Corn was actually pissed.
Oh, you come out of there hot, bro.
That's because Corn's character is so quiet the whole time. Then all of a sudden, he finally got to speak, and he had to just blow up, and everybody was like, whoa, what the hell?
Oh, shit.
And I kept picking on you and ramming you a new ass all the time because you had went to college and wasn't pursuing your dream at the time of whatever that was. And I kept jamming you up and jamming you up. And that all boiled up that night. And it was, you had me thinking you were a little bit more than acting when you come out of there.
Jennifer asks, are Anita and Uncle Chris a couple?
No, Anita's a fine woman, but I've been married. I've been married 42 years to another woman. So,
congratulations.
Yep.
Not easy.
So,
that is a long time. Will there be more videos of the family? Of course, Michael. If you follow this Facebook page, you're going to see so much content over this next year. I'm super excited. We got some big series, a lot around the dock. We got an Ursula Haunted series, collaborations, a Christmas series. We got some great stuff coming this year. You thought I was dating Corn? No, that was we did that for a little bit.
We did come out with that one thumbnail.
We did, yeah. There is the one thumbnail. If you're looking for some fan fiction with me and Corn, you can probably find some pictures online.
I think I accused you of that, Jesse, didn't I?
Yeah,
yeah, you definitely pushed it.
Yeah, we spent a long time together. Jeffrey is single. I see that a lot. Jeffrey, there's no women in your life? Are you a free agent?
I got a dog.
Yikes!
I got a dog.
Oh, jeez.
No, I enjoy having all my own time to myself and myself alone.
Very nice.
Okay.
Did you pay everyone to make these amazing videos? Asked Amanda. So nobody was paid. I mean, Korn was the only employee technically to Rigid Studios. So me and him worked for a profit. Everybody else just did it to help me out. Also, there are people that got channels that made revenue, but nobody was like even though I had contracts to everybody, it was more of just like a commitment to be in the videos. It was just, I will do my best. And the only reason I had contracts was just so I felt safer in that, you know, nobody just left midway through, and we had to like, because I've done series before Psycho where people left midway, I had to recast, and it just ruins the whole experience. But yeah, nobody was paid except me and Corn. So
Well, you did have to pay for those things that you had to replace.
correct. So any budget was towards like, you know, for the trailer or the pool or Switzerland.
Windows.
Yeah. Was the ice cream lawsuit real, Laurie? So yeah, I had done, when I was going from job to job, the unfortunate side effect of going to these actual businesses is most of these businesses had landlines. They had phones attached. So like a byproduct was, we go film in a business, fans look up the business because it's public, and then they want to talk to me, so they call the business. And this was something that would happen not just during odd jobs, but also if I was, you know, I remember me, Uncle Larry, and Corn, we'd go to like Applebee's and we'd eat, and I'd tweet, yo, look at this great meal at Applebee's. They would call the Applebee's too, and then they would be getting harassed at the restaurant. It would clog up all their lines. Or I was at a car dealership with Juliet, and I was like, yo, look at this nice car Juliet's about to get.
Yeah.
And they're blowing up the dealership headlines, or the landlines. So the ice cream situation was, oh my God. I worked there for a day as part of the series, and she agreed to it. And then what happened was every employee there had the phone number of the business on their shirt. Even outside of that, people were looking up Tony's Treats Ice Cream, and they started calling. And we had a lot of haters throughout the series that didn't like that we were succeeding at this, that didn't like all the attention we were getting. So they would purposely try to fuck us up in any way possible. So they would, you know, try to report the place to the health board. They would try to contact the authorities. This kid's messing up the business. And they would do anything they could to sabotage our production. So that was another whole facet that we kind of had to deal with throughout. Jeffrey is really an accountant, yes.
Does Kate have to take a shit, JT?
No, she just sees pollen outside. She's like, that makes my dad mad. I'm mad too.
How much did the food at the first Thanksgiving cost? So that was, the Thanksgiving video was one that went super viral. I mean, I think, Mom, you prepared most of that food.
Yeah.
Correct for that one?
Yeah.
And well, how much was it? Was it like a couple $100 maybe? Yeah. So, but the cool thing is like we got to eat that meal, so it wasn't wasted. Like everyone ate, and then we just fluffed all of the food up to make it look like it's still full portions, and then
I don't remember eating.
Right.
I remember pretending to eat, so it made it look like that we were eating the food, and then we just had to let it sit there and look realistic, and then it got flipped.
But we did eat half the turkey, and we thanked Walmart for that.
Oh, wait a minute. Didn't we have stuff already set aside?
Yes, and we had all the cheap Walmart plates, and
and you turkey around.
Yeah, we turned the turkey around.
The turkey flip. Yeah. What happened to the money your dad took, and did you really have to pay for that dude's truck? So yeah, the bag of 30 grand kind of became like a character in of itself. That was real cash that we took just because I knew we'd get close-up shots of it, and you know everyone was trying to expose us, so we had to use real money. Plus a lot of prop money just doesn't look as real as you'd want it to. But all that just went right back into the bank account. My dad didn't, you know, spend anything. That was all part of the narrative. Because I do want to make clear that, like, I know there's a lot of confusion when the series wrapped, and I saw comments from you guys on Facebook saying, like, you know, great show, but, like, did this really happen? Is that, you know, 98% of what happened was a narrative. It was for telling a story. But, you know, my dad really did get surgery.
Uncle Larry really did dance at that wedding.
Larry really did dance at that wedding from like way back long ago.
I know whose wedding that was.
Yeah, because some context, you know, did happen. Me and Juliet were dating. I really was not used to manual labor at the farm. Like these are some real things, but for the most part, it was all scripted.
What did I tell you, Jesse? I told your dad. I said you ain't worth the tits tits on a bull calf, or something to that effect.
Speaking of cat, I still wish we had gotten some cows to be in the farming series. I remember wanting to do them, give them their moment. Are we close family? Yeah, I mean, not only were we already close, but like most importantly, similar to what Uncle Larry said, how him and Tom came closer together because of having a channel and everything. The Psycho series and just YouTube in general, and like more importantly, creating these stories together has become a bonder for really me and everybody in the family, and really everybody and each other. It kind of reminded me of like going to war, to where we're all in the trenches together, experiencing crazy ride, and it kind of brought us all closer together and kind of pit us against like the world in these just bizarre experiences. I mean, as far as like me and Uncle Larry or me and Uncle Chris, I mean, Anita and Nancy, I had no idea who they even were. Me and Aunt Jackie, and Aunt Melissa, Jeffrey, it really, me and my parents as well, it all brought us closer together. I think that everyone would attest to that being the case. I mean, I didn't even really, like, I saw Uncle Larry and Uncle Chris specifically, once, maybe twice, 3 times a year.
Christmas, your birthday picnic, things like that. That's all we've seen. And I've said before, the best thing is the relationship is built between myself and you and Jeffrey that just really didn't exist before. And I'm not saying we're hanging out every weekend or anything like that, but we have an open communication, I think, and I think that's cool.
Can I say something? If anybody really wants to know what our family is actually like, I know I just posted a video, but I'm not trying to throw that out there because I know that JT has too. And so have you, Jesse, of our croquet matches, which kind of shows our family dynamic, what we're really like.
Right. So yeah, for you guys on Facebook, curious, like, all right, what's the real fam? There's gonna be videos coming out on Facebook that'll show you some real life videos that'll show you kind of how our dynamic actually is. But yeah, feel free to go on YouTube. Check out Larry's Lounge, the BigBrudda channel. You can watch.
Whoa! Shout out! Oh wow!
Never hasn't posted in a long time, but there's something on there.
World Day weekend. That means 3 whole days. Anything could happen those days.
Debbie, I didn't have a spleen issue. That became a running gag of like, ow, my spleen. It's just funnier to say, but I had an unknown pain, and that will get answered soon in a video. But needless to say, it's fixed now, and it required surgery. It was pretty bad. Does Uncle Larry still do chilling and grilling?
Yes. Not as much.
Yes. And you can see the whole playlist collection of things they've cooked. Judy wants to know, playing such dark moments so realistically, did it ever bring you down for real? 100%. And I think probably some of the other people, like maybe my dad or Uncle Larry or my mom or like or even Aunt Melissa, some of the more emotionally charged scenes, especially for me having written all this and like and toying with these things in my mind and then acting them out and then editing them, I was hyper exposed, and then seeing all the comments, hyper exposed to all these things. And especially when my favorite time of the Psycho series is when I'm locked in the room at the end, pretty much what you guys just witnessed, because I got really raw with myself, and I feel like I went down into the depths that you can go into your psyche, and I feel like I came out the other side and survived. But yeah, it's some heavy shit, Yeah,
it wasn't just the closeness that you with the character. It was also your obsession. Your obsession was scary.
Yeah, because you stayed in character most of the time, and even though you may not want to realize it, but before and after a scene, you stayed in that character, and it was very hard to talk to you because we could tell, your mother and I talking, we could tell that you were still in that character no matter what. You just didn't want to let up because you wanted to stay.
And so there's subsequent series that you guys will watch, to where specifically Isaac, who goes to even darker levels than the Psycho Kid did, I feel like, in some ways. But it's one of those things that you really got to have like a mental fortitude, or else you could lose yourself. And Psycho series, because we're grinding the 2 videos a day and everything, I feel like everybody who was in the series religiously became that character. Like, they became it, because like it was so hard to balance almost any other personality. Like, you had to become that character, or else you're gonna lose your mind. and especially for me, I was more in than out because I had to be. But it's a really interesting kind of case study. Justin says, "Are we gonna do any movies?" That'd be really cool. I mean, the documentary was our first kind of movie experience. It's something that I toyed with last year. That probably within the next few years, I wouldn't be surprised if I got some like big heavy rig cameras and we made a go at have some kind of movie, like independent film type. That's always something I've been passionate about. Whose character was the closest to real life? We went with Uncle Larry.
Yeah, it was Larry. Larry's forcing beer on me. I got to get up and go to the bathroom. I got the bladder of a woman.
Oh my gosh.
Hey, Jess.
Yeah.
Talking about the favorite movie kind of ties in with what you said about your darkest moments. I really felt the lead in before you shot your father when you were in the room downstairs and you were locked in there, and the emotions you were going through was really, really good. The acting and you being involved and into that character, I think that was probably the most moving part of just about anything I'd seen you do up to that point.
Thank you.
Yeah, I mean, just to see you in that cubicle, basically, with shit wrote all over the wall, and just in your so emotional state, you're stripped of everything. Your brother's gone, your mom's gone, your uncles are gone. Your relationships are for shit, and you're left with a tyrant father just driving you to the point of no return. And I mean, that point right there, I think was some of your best acting. And I think probably one of my favorites of all the series of what I'd seen.
Yeah, no, I 100% agree. Cause that, I saw on the Facebook, you guys, when on YouTube, it was super polarizing when I'm locked in that room, just like shouting and screaming at Dema, which was basically an effigy of my mom and dad. It was my dad's demon face plastered onto my mom's angelic head, and that I literally symbolically divorced them, rip them apart, and I ended up destroying my dad in that, which is kind of a foreshadow of me killing my father. But I remember seeing, even for you guys on Facebook, that as soon as I was locked in the room and starting to exercise these demons and freak out, that a lot of you guys were like really triggered by this. And the same was on YouTube. It's uncomfortable to watch somebody going through such mental distress. And it kind of really hit home, I feel like, that it's so triggering for people because everyone's dealing with these demons. But it happens when you're alone. And it happens when you're, really at the end of at the end of your rope. And I feel like it's something that people try to, push away and push out. So I feel like those videos really kind of went there, and definitely is my favorite as well.
The other part of it, Jesse, physically, you had basically went to shit. Your hair was long, your beard. You were unkept, and you were thin. I don't know. I mean, I had seen you probably 3 weeks prior, or maybe 2 weeks, whatever it was, and you really, when I seen that video, I was just astounded at how bad you looked at that point. So physically, not just emotionally, but physically, you were a wreck. In that,
I actually did stop eating for that period of time. There was nothing in my room also, so when I'd film and then I'd go into my room and there was no furniture in there, so I would just like lay in there. I really wanted to like get into it, but yeah, 'cause I remember I'd stopped working out completely for most of the Psycho series because of the spleen shit. So I definitely looked pretty pathetic. Juliet was done at that point. Surprised she held on. Zach says, can you talk about the company that wanted to buy your series? So nobody wanted to buy the series specifically, but throughout the Sega series, while everything was blowing up, we got a lot of television offers. We got approached by 3 different companies to do a reality TV show. That one was on Sci-Fi and the other one was more on kind of like an entertainment network type. We got offered. I remember my dad's coming back now, but we got offered, me and him, to do The Amazing Race. and we had to decline because we were in the the meat of the Psycho series. I think they were just about to get divorced, and I was like, we can't do this shit.
And then also you had your adhesion, and I had my hernia, which didn't bode well too. We'd have won it, we would have.
Yeah, so he was like pretty salty for a while afterwards. He's like, man, I still wish we'd done the Amazing Race.
Yeah, we'd have won that. And who was the other YouTuber? We would have kicked their ass. Who was it?
I think Tyler Oakley was.
Tyler Oakley, yeah.
I think
he knows it. He was scared of us.
And there was that guy that
ever since we were in London.
Frisbees.
Oh yeah, I know who you're talking about.
He was one of the judges in London. So he was scared of us.
People want to give Corn major props. Nice. A lot of love
Thank you,
for Corn
thank
right
you.
now in the chat.
Someone asked Jess, did you ever sleep over at the other house?
I entertained the idea for like 10 minutes and then I didn't.
Yes, did you sleep in the tent outside?
And that was the other one. Did I sleep in Eagles Landing? And the answer is no. I was this close with Eagles Landing though, because I knew people would ask me that later on, and I wanted to be like, I at least say, yeah, I slept in there just for one night, but I still didn't feel like fucking doing it.
Someone also asked about how Grandma was doing.
Oh, how is she doing?
Yeah. Oh, she's doing well. She's in rehab, so she's doing okay. But didn't you do a little thing about her in the Psycho series where you were chatting with her?
Yeah, and because I wanted to get her to basically forget me in the video, so that way my character could then be like, just to kind of do a little snippet on dementia and like, kind of the effects.
Yeah.
Yeah, I almost forgot that was kind of interlaced in a random episode in there.
Yeah.
Nick, this is really live right now. Like this is not pre-recorded. We are right now talking with you guys. I know it's super weird because it's like, how is this a thing? But we're actually here right now. Amanda says, Anita, you are a very lovely lady.
Thank you.
She is. She was. I mean, to be
Where's
kind
that?
enough to let. I mean, both of these two. I mean, to be kind enough to let me and Corn,
literally just
looking like
knocking on their door.
People, wearing sweatpants and like having our little camera with us, being like, "Can we film here?" And it's like, what? No. And I still remember like getting Anita and Nancy. We were in the barn. There's a great behind the scenes out on YouTube if you guys wanted to check that out. But it was us with Uncle Chris. It was raining. It was like one of the first. It was one of the first nights, and I was like going over like the contract that they were gonna have, and like just kind of like what it entailed. And I remember, I think Uncle Chris, you were almost like, this is not happening. Like this is not real.
I signed my contract, Uncle Chris. That's how valid that thing was.
I even said that. I said this contract would not mean anything really.
Right. And I wanted to take that, to really, no matter what, is like push through, guys. Like, I see a lot of questions like, anyone have any acting experience, or like, how stressful was it, whatever. Anything is possible. And like, I think that's focusing on all the things that could go wrong instead of all the things that could go right. So I feel like people in general are very quick to answer the question for themselves and get in their own way, where it's just like highly encourage you guys to think like that you can do the very hard thing, you can do the impossibly sounding thing, and all the people that doubt you, even if they're close to your life, you can easily twist that perception. I think, Anita, we have a special guest on your side.
Hello.
Hello there. Is that Tori?
Yes.
Guys, I don't know if you remember, but there was a girl on the farm. There was a little bit of tension of some flavor that you guys might have remembered. It's a little delayed, so we'll wait for them to catch up. What was the whole experience like for Jeffrey throughout this series, trying to portray his character?
So hard.
Is that like you in real life?
It's like a more exaggerated version. But yeah, basically it's just me.
Yeah, it's pretty close to Jeffrey. He does troll. That's a thing.
I like to poke buttons until I get a reaction, and then I laugh and walk away. That's kind of...
Yeah,
why are you nodding and saying, yeah, that's true, Mom?
Because you do it with me.
Yeah, because you're such an easy target. I literally just walk in there and say, hey, Mom, did you see this? And that's it.
Guys at Facebook, we're probably gonna be wrapping up this live stream shortly, so we'll take a last like handful of questions here, and then what I'm gonna do is, if for those that tuned into the stream late, I'm gonna see if hopefully Facebook will archive it so you guys can watch back through. But I'll also see if I can put the video on Storyfire. Okay, hey Tori, hey.
Kim just asked, was I happy with you cutting my hair? I actually let Jesse do that.
Why?
I said, go ahead and cut a big chunk, whatever you want to do. And he
Jackie,
did.
are you just creating questions so that
No,
you can
she was
answer
on here. I saw it.
Yeah, no, just Kim lady. She wants to know about me.
Yes,
and
I just
what
saw
I did.
it. Yeah,
Another question for Aunt Jackie.
Yes.
Colleen says JT is hot.
All right, Colleen.
Jeffrey, you need to like get on this, dude.
The internet? It's crazy out there.
Yeah.
Eat me alive. Let's stay in here.
Just where
I gotta ask. I gotta turn to the Facebook chat now and ask how many believe the series was real for the most of it. Maybe you turned on the killing or the fleeing and were like immediately like, okay, this is now I realize it's fake.
Yeah, what was the
thought it was
turning point?
real? Yeah, was it Uncle A going to the pool, or was it just the constant videos where it's like there's no way. Okay, so there's a pretty I going off the comments of the finale. There's a lot of people that were sucked in.
Hey, Mom, is it bright in that room? What are you doing?
Cindy says, does Anita really have a real website?
Farm does.
The farm does, yes.
The McCannsFarm.com.
McCannsFarm.com. Honestly, just a Google McCann's Farm, New Jersey. And you should see their logo from...
It usually comes up with a picture of me hugging Jesse.
Nah, does it?
Yeah, usually.
Oh, shit. That's when you know you hit the right spot.
The day that we couldn't cry.
Right, I know. We were heartless.
I was supposed to cry. I just couldn't cry.
A lot of love coming in right now. Appreciate it, guys. Yeah, there was a lot of fans coming from YouTube over onto Facebook, kind of spoiling it for people. I know they were linking the finale before it came out. And that was something we just dealt with during YouTube as well. There was so many people just... It's kind of like, for the kids in grade school that figure out Santa's not real, they're going to spoil it for all the friends too and ruin it and shatter the illusion. All right, guys, we'll take a final few questions. And then for you guys in the Zoom call, if there's any questions you guys want to pose to somebody else in the call, feel free. Nobody has anything, guys.
Wait. What order?
What?
Wait.
No, I was saying I'm posing some final questions to the stream, but it's going really fast. But I was asking if any of you guys have any questions for each other, maybe something you ever wanted to know how somebody was feeling during, or a clarification or whatever.
I want to know how Mrs. Stahlberger is feeling right now. I don't know. You just are fidgety as heck.
Is Georgie there?
Yes.
Is he playing Fortnite?
Oh, I'm sure he's down there playing Fortnite.
Can we get Georgie on real quick?
Will he play Warzone?
I don't know what Warzone is, so I can't guarantee it.
Okay, well he can come up here then.
Because people have been requesting Georgie. So
okay, let me see. He might not. I don't know what his hair looks like.
What did your mom feel about the finale?
Uh-oh. What does your mom feel?
Georgie, fix your hair.
Right.
Oh, and then we'll add, how we...
He's coming.
That's a good question. We'll ask it when Georgie shows up.
It might be his daughter, too.
Oh.
Oh, naked.
So that's a big update. Guys, Georgie has a daughter now, so it's been a minute, and she's kind of grown up.
She's 2.
What's up, Summer?
Hi, I'm cute.
She's completely naked.
Thank God it was filmed.
Yeah, thank God we're not live.
Yeah, but I took the top half.
Yeah. Cindy, Uncle Larry is married. Yes.
Everybody.
That is a popular question.
I know.
You get a lot of action, Larry.
Wait a minute. I'm gonna go call him
I think
again.
his wife's asking from the other room. See what Larry's answer is.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that. Because in the Psycho series, he wasn't married, right?
Yep.
That's right.
Linda, yes, I am still on YouTube. I'm newly returned.
I want to see him 1 quick second. He's not coming. He's in the middle of a game, Jesse. I'm sorry. He's not-
Oh my.
Oh, he's
God.
probably gonna get second place.
All right. Well, we'll ask just you. How was that? Tell us about the pranks
No,
that would
it's
go
that.
down.
I don't even want to talk about that. That was horrible. Worst day of my life.
So one pranking specifically, if you guys were tuned in around April Fools, so we did an April Fools prank on Aunt Melissa. Can you tell us about that experience?
Well, it started out okay. In the kitchen, stuff was going on. Right?
Big
Is that when
food
you
fight.
threw the table down and broke it?
Yeah, and he was using it as a barricade while I threw melons out.
Yes. And then they made me run across mouse traps. There was something
No,
set up.
there was some cups. There was red cups filled
There
with
was-
water.
And then when I got into the bathroom, there was crickets all over, which I was like, oh, but they didn't scare me until I found out they had white mice in there. Like 4 of them, wasn't there?
And so you didn't know about that beforehand?
I wouldn't have gone in there if I knew. I'm
She,
horrified in my, and you know that.
now I know to the extent to which a fear can actualize.
horrible.
'Cause I was like,
And then
It was
when I ran
bad.
out of the room, you smashed me in the face with that pie.
so those were real tears, guys.
Oh no, it was horrible. I slept downstairs with George in the basement because I was afraid there was still a mouse loose.
So there was some stuff in the series that was real, and that was one of those situations.
It was bad.
And if you guys, there was a really bad prank that occurred later on because Georgie had his own channel, but the documentary really does a good job of kind of showing what went down there. That never made it the lights of YouTube, so highly encourage you guys once again to check out the documentary if you haven't. It's available on Storyfire. It's called Psycho Family. You can find the link on my page. How do I pronounce Mario? All right, guys, whatever. It's South Jersey accent, okay?
Wait, how do you pronounce it?
I guess I used to say Mario. Now it's Mario.
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 All right. What about Wario?
Wario?
And Papa Louie.
Do me and Jeffrey fight? Sometimes it happens. Mostly on video. We used to growing up though. We would fuck each other up.
Yeah, he was a little jerk off.
Yeah, Jeffrey, I had one of those too.
Woohoo!
Yeah, because that's the cool thing. I liked when Uncle Chris was introed because it was like you got to see the 2 Ridgway brothers and then the 2 Ridgway brothers. Who's the youngest between you two?
Yeah, me, of course. Look.
I look younger.
That's what was confusing. So was your guys' relationship, Uncle Chris and my dad, was it similar to me and Jeffrey growing up?
Well, and nobody could beat your dad's ass but me. So I will.
And you just figure him and I we also not grew up together. Well, we grew up together, but then we worked together for many years at one of the places. So not only we fought at work, we fought at home. So yeah, it was.
Well, you guys
My
worked at the
uncle
same
threw
place.
a hammer at me, a claw hammer, and it stuck right by my head in a bag. Basically, almost killed me.
Yeah.
Why would you guys work at the same place?
Yeah.
I knew you were strong enough to handle it, Jeff.
Yeah.
So,
It made me a better person.
I remember a couple kids shaking you down going to school, and they lived up the street. And I knocked one of them on their ass and went after the other one. I said, I'm going to take your money. I ain't going to let them do it.
Right. So then he went through my pockets, took my money. So
This is my mom's money.
yeah.
I don't think you guys got to see it, but there's a BTS of you guys actually fighting during the Psycho series. Like you guys started throwing hands a little bit.
Yeah.
Was that on the back patio, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Video I most enjoyed doing was I think you called it Brother Thou How Art Thou, and that was I think the one you're referring to where you had quit the farm and I promised you I wasn't going to dime you out to your dad. And then he found out, and shit was hitting the fan, and I came over to try to come to your rescue, I guess. And I think we laid out the groundwork that you could make a living off of this internet, even though our generation didn't understand it. And I think it was a pretty clear point in there about that. You getting out of the house, of course, you didn't listen. And, I did end up killing the bastard, but, So, but.
It's a good segue. Dad, I mean, how much of the Psycho Dad character was legit? And mainly in terms of his beliefs.
Well,
because
getting back, because we're close to, well, I'm close to 60, and basically I was brought up that you worked hard, whatever it takes to get the job done, basically. And I just didn't understand the concept between, working on the internet and sitting in your room playing games, things like that. So I guess that's the concept of the story, but it still resonates with an older person who just doesn't grasp it, wasn't accepting of it and things like that. But I am accepting of it, but it resonated in the character.
How did you go from being like somewhat negative and kind of like pushing down the idea of like, say, being a like pro gamer for a living, or a YouTuber or something artistic or whatever that might not, pan out or be logical or practical? How did you go from like thinking like that, Jesse, you got to get a real job, because there was some of that in reality, to all of a sudden being the main star of your son's series?
No, and there was some realism there, because we had the lawn business on the side. I wanted you to get a job. I didn't want you to sit around the house. I wanted you to get out and get in the real world and get out of your room. So that part of the character, it was real, because that was how I felt. So I guess it did change as I realized what was out there and how the effect of it was. Working on the internet, doing videos, things like that. I did finally realize and transition into this is a real job. Yeah.
Changed you, because like when you saw all, even even that was that.
See if you can fix that mic. Yeah, see if you can fix that. Get that mic over, or lean in, Ma.
Oh, I was saying there was a lot of things, I think, little things that showed him how much of an impact that it was making. And one being that 1 million juggies.
Yeah.
When he watched that, I think that probably there was a little bit of reality to that, because he saw where everybody was in awe of what you were going through and wanting to help you.
Because and getting back to that, when your brother hauled you over there in the trailer, he basically tied the trailer up and brought it over, and then I had to sit there and watch the 1 million juggies. That was basically inspirational to me, seeing all these young people, in your corner, fighting for you to keep doing what you're doing. That was a big transition for me.
Yeah, I think that's an interesting point of like, so many things are digital now, and especially when it comes to putting these videos out there and trying to make a living off an online career, is that you're not seeing anything. You're not seeing anybody in real life. You're not seeing much validation. You see numbers on a screen. And I think for me, trying to convince anyone around me or parents like how big of a deal this is, there was so much resistance. Where it's
I agree.
Oh, look, this is 100,000 views, 100,000 people. It's like, okay, what does that mean? Like that, it's just a number on a screen.
Yeah, it didn't mean much to me. Until I eventually saw it, firsthand, because it just, again, I couldn't see it. So until I finally did realize it and did see it, that's when I, my character changed, my personality changed, my real life, me changed. And again, I started seeing another thing that, changed me too, was I would get, sporadic fan mail coming to the house. And it would crack me up, because they were always diming you out. Oh, Jesse, Jesse's at Uncle Larry's. Jesse's at Aunt Melissa's. Jesse's at the farm. Go get him. Go do this to him. It was kind of comical to me, but it also opened my eyes to how many people that these videos and you have touched over the the last 8 years, I guess, now that you figure it, because we started in 2012.
Yeah, and that's such a wild thing to think of, honestly, is not only that we're doing this reunion stream right now for all these people on Facebook, but it all just had a renaissance on Facebook to where like millions of people are experiencing the Sega series for the first time. And this is something that we started way back in 2012 as a joke, and to see 8 years later, it still has such an impact, and that people are appreciating this. And really, that's a testament to you guys watching. So, really appreciate all the love we've been getting on Facebook, and it has added to the reality of it because, on YouTube, you see a lot of like corny animated usernames and stuff, and you don't get a sense of the real person. I feel like Facebook, you guys have been great because we see who you are. Like, we see your actual picture, we see your full name. We clicked on your profile. You're a very real person in a very real city, state, and with a job, and it's like, holy shit. And I think it also was probably validating where like people started to talk around our area, and then it was like, people are texting you like, yo, is this you in the video? And it was like, oh shit.
And another thing was also when you would bring up your mother, your mother and I, things that where you would get letters from people, and I think Larry got one that that you shown in the documentary about how you change people's lives. That was kind of amazing and heartwarming to your mother and I, how your career had changed lives, how people were inspired by you and things like that. So these are big things that changed my thinking, throughout the last 8 years.
How's dinner, JT?
It's good. It's 4 hours too late.
Yeah, people want to know what you are eating.
Looks like green beans.
Yeah, I got green beans here, and then that was my keyboard.
Did you get them? Did you get those at McCann's farm?
Got them from Acme.
Buy at McCann's Farms.
Our produce.
Yeah, dude.
Like a 25-minute drive.
Gotta support your local business, Jeff.
Yes, Jeffrey.
Come on now. Will our questions be answered later? Laura, hit now. These are the last few. We're about to wrap it up here, guys. Any big burning questions aside from what's Jeffrey eating for dinner?
Ask now, forever
honestly,
hold your peace.
I don't know when the next time we'll have like a live stream like this with everybody here. So if you have any questions for somebody specific, now's the chance. Much love from Scotland. Thank you, Barry. We got a lot of people overseas in the stream tonight. Love the graphic novel. Thank you, guys. If you want to check out the Sega Series graphic novel, it's like a whole comic book, 100 pages. I could definitely link that on here.
Which I never got that one yet.
You never got? Oh, well, we're sending you one. What is that question? Production costs overall, Jason, I'd say upwards like 100 grand with all the different things destroyed, the trips. Amanda says we want to hear from Corn. All right, Corn, just
Corn.
Come on, there's no question. I almost made up questions like Aunt Jackie did, because I hadn't talked in a while. But decided against it.
Make up your own.
It's like, oh yeah, somebody asked about how hard it was to film this certain scene. It was really tough. Because you had to walk backwards in the film, couldn't look where you were walking.
It's true. How much did AGP influence the series? So I like, honestly, I didn't even know Angry Grandpa was a thing until probably 2015. So we had already done the first like handful of Psycho videos until people were like, yo, this is like AGP. And I was like, what is that? And then I found out, and then I was like, oh, there's a lot of overlap. But if you talk to Michael now, he'll tell you he copied off us for a lot of stuff. His big break was the PS4 destruction. He cookie cuttered that right off us, but then we cookie cuttered a lot of our videos off another channel, Waffle Bone. But it's so much just overlapping, kind of just freak out genre. It's like parody. We're parodying what would happen if a kid, got yelled at by his dad. We all generally live in the same area. Corn's out in Florida now.
Wait, what?
Yeah, I moved like 2 months ago.
Wow. Okay.
Everyone else still in the same area. Bloopers. So, Arissa, if you go onto the channel, there will later on in the year we will come out with the behind the scenes and bloopers and everything. Or I could probably start putting those out now. But yeah, there's a lot of bloopers. Not as many bloopers as you'd think. They're more mess ups because like it was serious shit. It's like,
Hey, Jess.
yeah.
Speaking of the seriousness of it, you know, we were fighting at the farm with Anita and Nancy to get in before the sun went down. I'd roll in
Yeah.
at 6 and be on time, and you and Corn Job would roll in about 6:15, 6:20, and then you'd have to set it out. It was 7 o'clock before we start shooting.
Yeah.
And so there wasn't a lot of time for mess ups as I remember it.
No.
One time, I go over the Stallburger's house.
Oh.
When they're in the trailer and living in the freaking woods, and I'm there, I'm like, yeah, I'm here. And you're like getting a suit or something with Uncle Larry. I'm like, all right. I think I went up to hang out with Georgie for like a little bit. I was there 4 hours before you guys showed up. I get done at work at 4:30. I go there, and then it gets dark. We're filming outside. Oh my god, 4 hours, Jess.
That's a real testimonial from an actor on the set of the Psycho series. That was a running thing because like it became an ongoing joke that Jesse was historically late to his own shoots. And that just kind of really helps emphasize the level to which we were grinding. Not only scheduling everything with everyone every single day, managing millions of people audience-wise, and then writing it, and then filming it, acting it, directing, editing it, and then trying to manage everyone else's stresses on top of it. So it became a thing to where like, all right, we're shooting at 6. I'm like, it's 6:30, and like we're behind because that's the thing with film. Things always run later than you expect. There's so many variables involved, and you don't know how many times you're gonna have to mess up, or go over stuff, or or maybe one other person's running late, so it causes all these other scenes to get pushed back. There's still times where I think back and I'm like, I don't know how the fuck we did it, because it was just such a relentless grind.
Mm-hmm.
What's that?
One time, Jesse, you beat me there. You remember you come flying by me, and
we were racing. You were racing to the farm.
Damn, I was just trying to beat you one time, Uncle Chris.
I forget? Did we win?
I think I let you in because you had that pink car about flat out.
It was about to explode.
Yeah, you knew you weren't gonna stop.
Yeah.
Yeah, and Anita and Nancy, you were gracious hosts while I was there. I thank you both for making it comfortable being there. And when we picked up, it was like I'd known you forever. And I guess that's probably what led to the belief that we were able to keep that into the stuff that we did, because it just seemed natural to be there. So.
Blaine says I missed the videos already. Yeah, I mean, there's gonna be a lot of videos coming out, so like you'll get to see everyone again. But yeah, I mean, even over the years, it's hard to really capture just how much the Sega series meant to everybody, and how hard it's been to kind of fill that void because it was such a long investment, big kind of huge complex web of people investing their time and energy. But Lori, you can watch a documentary on this Facebook page. Basically, just scroll down a post or two. It's called Sega Family. It's available on my platform, Storyfire, which guys I encourage you to download. It's on iOS, Android, and on the web. The pink car, I still have that. I do not have children, although I do have Ashley. I do have a girlfriend now. Her name's Ashley. She's chilling. She's in new content now. She coming? I think she might be coming. I don't know. You like when Uncle Chris pushed me in the pond? Yeah. That's Uncle Chris.
Technically, I did not push you.
That's true.
I just intimidated you into the pond.
Exactly, which is even more powerful.
That scene caused more calls to the farm than I think anything else you did.
Really?
And I knew I texted Jesse recently and said, "What are you doing?" Because they're calling the farm to tell me that Chris pushed you in the pond.
Dang. Even more so than when he just laid on top of me and crushed my bones.
Your spleen.
My spleen. Carrie says, "What's in your future now, Jesse?" So there's so much to catch up on. Highly encourage you to tune into the videos, but you can always Google stuff, see what we're up to now on Storyfire. But currently, right now, a lot of time is being worked on this alternative to YouTube. It's called Storyfire. But we got a bunch of newer content coming on the way. And we've done just so many different series, but YouTube's kind of gotten bad. Like if you did the Sega series now on YouTube, There's part of the reason why I uploaded these to Facebook is because of the bad language, because of like the edgy stuff, content that we're covering. A lot of videos got suppressed, demonetized, so they're not earning any money. Luckily, Facebook's been really awesome with the content. Steven, yeah, me and Jeffrey live together. Jeffrey's in the house right now. We're separate sides of the house. Yeah. And I think there's a joke that, like, you know, McJernites and BigBrudda, they were going to live together. And, like, Psycho Kid's like, yeah, that'll happen. And then here we are. So if that interests you, stay tuned for content because you get to see what that's all about. What happened to Juliet? We broke up 2018, so it's been a couple years now. All right, guys, we're going to take 3 final questions. That's it. Then we're out of here.
Hey, Jackie, you're up. Go ahead, make one up.
Hey, Jackie, make one up on the spot here.
Oh, I just saw a question.
Kathy wants to know why I was so lazy.
Jess, answer that, please.
All right, look, I don't feel like doing shit. All right, it's really fun to just play video games and chillax.
Yeah, this quarantine is great, honestly. I mean, love
Quarantine
it.
has been great for that. It has been. So, like, maybe I've been lazy currently, but at that time, no, that was just character. Jeffrey is single, yes. If you guys are interested in any merchandise from throughout the series, any Juggy shirts or, you know, even Storyfire merch, you can check out. That is, my mom really does kind of run the Etsy store, the Juggy store, so we do have our own merch. You can check out Etsy.com/shop/Majority. Basically, just look up the Juggy store on Google, and you'll find us.
Or rigidstudios.com.
Or rigidstudios.com is another thing. So sad it was over, says a few people. I know. I mean, I miss the series. I miss that commitment. We got close to it with some of our miniseries and with My Virtual Escape, which was another big series. I definitely miss like the longer production, so to speak. So could there be one in the future? Most likely, I could see it. But I would just stay tuned. What was the meaning behind Sega Dad destroying stuff?
He got anger issues.
He had anger issues. You know, he didn't know what else to do to stop his son from playing. And I mean, what else are you gonna do? You know, you're either gonna hide what they're playing. You know, force time. I mean, I used to have a bedtime of like 10 p.m. growing up, but I would sneak back out and play till like 2 a.m. I would just turn the TV on and turn the volume down to 0 and play without the sound on. So even the curfews don't work. Like, they're still playing. They're going around it. I don't even think my parents knew that. I think is that news to you guys?
That's why he was so tired. In the
Yeah. Why he slept in the class. He slept on a bus. He slept on the couch.
Wow. They really didn't know. But there were times I'd be on the mic with her. I'm like, yo, guys, my parents are sleeping, so, like, you just don't talk loud. And they would start yelling really loudly to try and get me in trouble. Dang, I just came out with that. Wow, Ashley really didn't show herself on the stream. Kind of sad. What did Larry's wife think of the series?
He put you on the spot now.
That's pretty good.
Yeah.
She didn't want any parts of it. She just
that's why.
Because it would have brought too much drama into her world. So that's what she thought about it. Not that she was against it. Like she was okay with it for somebody else. She didn't like it coming into our house. Huh? Oh, can you hear me?
Yeah, just lean in towards that.
The sweet spot.
Yeah, there it is.
Yeah, so I don't want to speak for her because I don't know exactly.
You have to speak.
I don't think she was too fond of it, to tell you the truth. And honestly, it's not her cup of tea.
And Tom's there as well. Tom, I remember initially had been in a bunch of different series of mine prior, and then I don't think wanted the much involvement in the Psycho series. And Tom's here to address that because he went off at Psycho Kid towards the tail end. What was it like being kind of like watching the Psycho series from a third party, but not as like involved in it?
Um,
And you'll have to do the lean in into my dad.
yeah. Sorry, Uncle Jeff.
It's all good.
So, watching it as a third party was honestly still really interesting, just to kind of see everything still unfold while not directly being a part of it.
And you were not a part of it because of the nature of the content?
The nature of the content, I wasn't too terribly fond of it, and I wanted to put more of a focus on my college work at the time. So I didn't see the Psycho series as a priority on my personal list, and so I didn't.
And I believe didn't you like volunteer to want to shout me down at the end? It was like you felt like it was like the cosmic justice of your character.
In short, yes, I did volunteer. It was, I don't know, it might have just been like blowing out the anxiety a bit from, because, you know, when you hear your dad say, hey, I'm going to drive into a swimming pool, it's just like, you're going to what?
Oh, so you were genuinely concerned.
I had concern for him, yes.
I mean, wasn't everybody at least slightly concerned for him doing that? I mean, Jesse's like, no.
No, dude.
Yeah.
Man, I don't even remember.
Did you start to think, Tom, that maybe your dad was starting to like get lost in it to be willing to do that, or?
A little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's always that like, how far is it gonna go sort of deal.
Right. And that is the thing with YouTube. It's like it's one-upping your. Is that whose voice is that?
That's Uncle Chuck.
Is Uncle Chuck? Is we getting a cameo?
You
Some
wanna-
monkeys?
You giving a cameo, dear?
Yeah. Jackie,
Oh,
shit
there he
something.
is. Oh, there you go.
I don't think he heard me.
How did Uncle Chris feel treating me like shit?
Bad.
It was kind of, I think JT said with himself, it's, you know, you're acting at like on steroids. Your personality just on steroids. You're overdoing it. So it came a little bit natural, but there was a part of me that really felt bad, you know, abusing you verbally or physically abusing you. And I remember times I was getting soft on you and you're like, no, cut. You gotta start over.
Yeah.
You gotta be harder on me. You can't turn yet. We need the arc of your character to, you know, not to turn yet. I really want to see this, you know, in a certain way. And you pushed for that. And we couldn't take cuts when we were up against the sunlight, losing sunlight, and we had to make it work pretty quick.
Yeah.
But it was troubling at times. I liked
remember you wanting to rush it. I remember you wanting to be like, yo, like, can we get to that part where where I turn sooner? Yeah,
because, you know, that isn't me every day. You know, I mean, I can't say I don't have my moments, but, you know, it was tough. It was tough treating you like shit. You know?
There she is. It's Ashley, guys. My girlfriend. What's up?
Ash.
She's been watching on the stream, guys, but she's been lurking.
She's been writing all Aunt Jackie's questions.
Please. I just want to talk.
Oh, sorry.
But it was tough, Jesse, treating you like shit. You know, even though sometimes I could think
off that too.
Yeah, I could see, you know, how you know. And like I mentioned earlier, with your dad being there that time, it was intimidating, you know, for me also, and then saddened the way your dad treated you. And I could see, you know, our similarities, you know, me early on and the way your dad was, that similarity that we had, and then how, you know, I was able to go away from that and actually soften up on you, I guess.
And Dad, you could probably talk a little bit about that as well, because you were there were probably times where you felt guilt or, you know, just like bad for my character, or even just yelling at me extensively.
Yeah, I think we had conversations about that numerous times where I felt guilty basically treating you the way I did as as my character. And then, even though I knew it was a character, I still felt bad because I didn't feel that any parent or any dad should treat their kid like that, especially the way, was portrayed in this video or these videos. It always bothered me, still bothers me today. Even though we know it's not real, but it's...
You wake up in the middle of the night and just get like a flashback of yelling at me?
No, it's not that bad. But no, to the point where you see the videos, if somebody's watching one of the videos and you look at it and then you see yourself portrayed as that kind of person, it still bothers you. Something I wouldn't do.
Blaine says, would love to meet you guys in person. Did Jeffrey actually get hurt when you smashed the bottle over his head?
Wait, was that a real question?
That was a real question, yeah.
Oh my god. I wake up in the middle of the night, every night, thinking about that. I'm just so, like, overcome with just, like, PTSD and just pain in my head.
Migraines.
Oh, my migraines.
Somebody nailed it. Matthew, that is correct. That was sugar glass.
I know, and I hate sugary foods, so, like...
Yeah, I had a 6-pack of sugar glass, and I think I broke, like, 2 or 3 just from, like, handling them with my fingers. But luckily that shit doesn't hurt too bad. It depends if you got like a bigger. We've used like glass vases before, and those actually hurt. Juliet is continuing her singing. Yes, you can. And Anita and Nancy do have a channel. I don't know if they post. We can definitely catch up on all their content. That's at McCann's Farm. Guys, I think I'm gonna wrap this thing up. Seriously, thank you all so much on the Facebook for viewing this live stream, for watching all the Psycho series through. It's taken us a little over a year to get through all the content. Andrew says, Anita, can we donate to the farm? Is that a thing?
Buy stuff from the farm.
You could always, even better is buy stuff from the farm. So if you go to McCann's Farm, you can find them on everything. They have an Instagram, Facebook, Twitter. They'll go to their website. Or even go to the farm. They have a storefront, as you probably saw in the series. You can buy stuff, whatever's in season. Maybe you gotta wear a mask now. I don't even know if that's a thing because of that.
We can't do anything at the farm yet.
Yeah, we can't do shit yet. Sorry, guys. Do it online. But much love to everyone. Seriously, thank you guys. I did not think this would ever happen. The fact that we got to have like a renaissance here on Facebook. Just shows that, the Psycho series can still touch hearts and, affect families. So whether you're from the parent perspective, the younger sibling perspective, whatever, connection you had to this thing, thank you. Seriously, this was a work of love for me and so much sacrifice from me and my family and everybody else involved for Corn filming this thing. Literally everybody involved, sacrificed a bunch to put this show on. So the fact that you guys are enjoying it, and especially a lot of you guys in the older demographic, I didn't think I'd ever reach you guys.
Yeah, when you told us that was wild. I would have never guessed.
Yeah.
So what do you mean? My age group, the older demographic?
Yeah, because that is what the Psycho Kid wanted, was the respect from his dad. So to see, all you guys, I saw some of you guys in their 50s, 60s, 70s.
That's because everybody's stuck home.
Yeah.
You were asleep, Jack.
But to see you guys
haven't
from
moved for a
that
while.
perspective appreciate the show, kind of really, really meant a lot. Yeah, 56, 48, all you guys, thank you for sharing all that. Seriously, that's kind of a dream come true, is to learn the respect of Psycho Dad, or you guys that are older. So thank you for showing that love, guys. If you would like to watch a documentary, it does a hell of a lot better technical work than we had on this live stream. Go watch the really well produced documentary. It's 90 minutes, available on Storyfire. You can just check the right below this live link on my Facebook page at McJuggernauts. You'll see the documentary. Watch that. Watch it with your families. Maybe you loved it. Your other family members didn't watch it. Watch a doc with them. I think it'd be a really cool experience. There's a lot for everyone in it. And if you guys want to stay up to date with what we're all doing, most of us are on social media. You can download our app Storyfire. It's available on iOS, Android, and on the web, storyfire.com. You can see what we're doing on there. You can check out my YouTube channel, Reunites, or you can just hang out on Facebook because we got a lot more content to come starting already tomorrow with the Crisis series that we filmed in Switzerland. So we got a lot of cool shit coming. And hopefully I'll be on here live on Facebook again soon. You can check me out, twitch.tv/Reunites. I do live stream on there. I'm all over the place. So you guys, if you guys want to find me, Google me, and we can still hang out and talk, and feel free to reach out if you ever need. But to everybody on the Zoom call right now, to all you guys, thanks for coming into the live stream. Thanks, it was great. We got everyone together. Are you guys ready for the sequel?
Hello?
Hey, Psycho Kid, you got your dad's respect. We're good.
I mean, legitimately, if
Yeah.
there was a
All
sequel
right,
to
it's past my
happen,
bedtime.
who would sign up for a sequel?
Yeah.
Could be
Shot
interesting.
me.
Anita, you're out.
You shot me.
Oh,
He
that
shot
was
me
MVP,
too.
Though that was MVP.
No,
Yeah.
that's a different. Yeah, that's different. Different.
Yeah, I've been shot.
alternate
I don't know.
universe.
Still got the blood stain on the carpet.
Nah, do you?
That's on the broken blinds.
Oh my god.
Hey, if someone
Dad, you down?
run it-
Who?
Psycho Dad 5.
You know, I'd
Yeah, I'll be
probably
in a wheelchair probably.
Oh my god.
Yeah, come here, you little bastard.
What's your best quote,
Does
Jeff?
everyone miss it, or is it like good riddance?
What ails you?
I don't remember how we did it. Like the idea of like going to work and then coming home and then filming and then like doing stuff for like my channel or streaming. I just don't understand how we fit it all in. It's gives me anxiety.
Yeah. Everybody was younger.
Agree on that one.
I just don't. How we did it.
Mom, you gotta slide in. We can't remember. It's the.
No, you don't.
Yeah, oh my god! Whoa! It's real.
This is the opening episode of the series.
Doing a series.
Slide in. We can't hear you.
I miss doing a series.
Do I need to strangle her again?
Not so much I miss the specific characters. I just miss doing the series.
Mom's bored. Mom's
It's gonna
bored.
be- It's gonna be Psycho Mom next series.
Yep.
Oh shit.
Dad gets to be the good guy.
Oh my god.
I was always scared of her.
But I think everyone in the chat, I mean, the 1,000 or so people in here agree. There needs to be something involving everyone on a larger scale soon. Everyone's hungry for it. Not just these guys, but everybody on YouTube, every platform. And we appreciate that love, guys.
Hey, cousin Will's watching us.
Oh, nice.
What's up, Will? Hey,
What's up,
Will.
Will? We gotta get him in the next one.
Yeah, fly him out.
Oh yeah, we're gonna do it right. But guys, thank you, guys on Facebook. We're gonna close off this stream. Thank you guys so much for watching.
Love you all.
Be safe, everyone.
Yep, everyone say your goodbyes.
I just want to say thank you, guys, all of you. And don't forget to keep it rigid.
Don't forget to keep
Peace.
it rigid, y'all. And
Stay safe.
Yeah, stay safe.
And one more thing. I just want to say thank you.
He says thanks. Thank you guys. Love y'all.
Love y'all.
Peace.
Bye.
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 Bye.